backtrack. And you should have kept my name out your mouth. That's ego, how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going, give you something you could talk about. Welcome into my world, you're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof, inflame. Kids these days so shameless, selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though, I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low-life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen, ukulele ballanger. Shots been fired, run and tell that. Say it to my face though, now behind my back. Won't be long till you share it in the group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should have kept my name out your mouth. That's ego, how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going, give you something you could talk about. Welcome into my world, you're playing my game. Thought that you could
In the courtroom glow, I stand so steady. Eyes on my belly, I know they ain't ready. 8 months in and I'm stronger each day. 3 kids deep, but I won't walk away. Suit is sharp, but your lies are dull. The truth's my weapon, my heart's so full. Your fake charm crumbles right on the stand. This is war, bad boy, I got the upper hand. I testify for love, not fear. Your bad boy ways have no place here. I'll raise my truth like the gavel falls. You can't hush this lioness's call. Lioness's call. Lioness's call. They think I'm fragile, but I roar so loud, carrying this life. I work so proud. The judge sees fire behind my stare. Just as a woman, I'm her heir. I'm dancing in my skin, fierce as can be. You can't break a heart that's built a legacy. Your lies like smoke, they blur and fade, but truth's the anthem this mama's played. I testify for love, not fear. Your bad boy ways have no place here. I'll raise my truth like the gavel falls. You can't hush this lioness's call. Lioness's call. Lioness's call. Those rings on, you make us leaving. And I was born with, still in need of. No, I reason on my head ain't never. No, I'll never reach that. So all I need of. I testify for love, not fear. Your bad boy ways have no place here. I'll raise my truth like the gavel falls. You can't hush this lioness's call. Lioness's call. Lioness's call.
Okay, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm a little tired. I'm a little emotionally, girl. I'm a little emotionally run down still from yesterday, if we're being honest. No, I did not write the song, y'all. The AI wrote the song. That's how good it's done got. AI sang the song. I did not sing the song. Hello. I thought I'd do a little, oh my God, girl. Thought I'd do a little, pick me up. A little happy moment before, I don't know. Oh yeah, Brenda, it was a good one. It was a new intro AI song. Yes, it was. All right. So I also, y'all, okay, I got some new sources today. We got the BBC reporting today too. So supposedly, court started, hold on, I'm gonna pull my screen up. Supposedly court started 36 minutes ago.
it was supposed to go, they were supposed to start at 9:30 sharp. Hold on. Excuse me. Okay, here we are on Inner City Press. It's just going to take me a moment to just get with it. You know what I mean? I should have got coffee or something this morning. Ooh, just not liking this. Look, what is this? What is going on here? Okay, share your, here we are. Okay, we're on Inner City Press Twitter. Let's see if he's started the thread yet. Please tell me he hasn't started the thread yet. Please don't tell me that. I gotta like get set my camera up too far over. Now I'm just trapped. Okay, just trying to get. I am just trying to get used to some new technology. Okay, yes, they're alive and well over there, y'all. Okay, breaking news. It's going on. The court is happening. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay. Wait a second, y'all. They are up and at it. Oh my Lord. Okay. I have my little hammer. I found it. It was on the ground. There was no justice yesterday, but today there's going to be. Okay. Okay. It says United States versus Sean Combs, May 15th. That's today. It's Thursday, May 15th, 2025. We are following Inner City Press today, CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, ABC. That's a new one on the roster, as well as what's this? Oh, BBC. Excuse me. And NBC. Okay, so those are going to be who's on the roster today so far. Also the Washington Post. Yes, okay. Said that one. Okay. On the roster, if you want to know, hello, hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be covering the Diddy trial live. It is not televised, so we do have to read tweets from inside the courtroom and articles and other updates, like tweet style updates from inside the courtroom. The sources today are going to be Inner City Press, CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, ABC, BBC, NBC, and my thoughts and opinions. Okay, so let's see. What are we doing here? All right. So it looks like it did start. Not quite exactly right on time as was it supposed to. Excuse me. Ugh. It's early for all this talking. Okay. 57 minutes ago, before cross-examination even started. So, what we are expecting today is going to be Cassie. I gotta move this camera. Sorry. Okay. All right. Whew. All right. What we saw the last 2 days, it's been going on for 3 days. So today's Thursday. Monday, they did opening statements at 2 witnesses. One was a former security guard for the hotel where the incident happened. And the other witness was a supposed escort. They called him a male dancer. He had different monikers, but he was like someone who had done a supposed alleged freak off with Diddy and Cassie. What was his name? Daniel Phillip. Daniel Phillip. So that was on the first day. Then the second day, they started with Cassie. She came and took the stand. So the feds asked her questions for pretty much 2 full days. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it's all a blur, you know, because there's like multiple sessions we do a day, no pun intended. Yeah, okay. So Cassie finished up yesterday. There was some arguing back and forth amongst the lawyers over whether or not the civil lawyers that are representing these plaintiffs in civil cases should be allowed to talk to their clients during cross-examination. The issue is going to be that would mean possibly up to several days. So I don't think it's going to end up going exactly that way. But Diddy's concern, and I do see the concern, is that they're going to drop like new things that these witnesses, Cassie, Jane Doe, Mia, haven't prepared for. And then they're just going to be like, oh, I need a bathroom break. And then they're just going to go and ask their lawyer what to say. So I do understand the concern in general, but you got to take stuff case by case. And one of these lawyers said that his client has had multiple breakdowns. It kind of sort of seemed like maybe this client didn't want to even testify, because he was like, she would have taken this to her grave. She should be allowed to speak to me, her lawyer, on issues of if she's going to have, if she needs to talk to me. And if not, that's going to set a bad precedent, et cetera, et cetera. So there's still kind of a little bit arguing over that. They still haven't like fully, the judge hasn't made a final decision last I checked. So today is going to be supposed to be Diddy's lawyers' turn to come through and ask Cassie some questions. Now, this could have started yesterday, was supposed to start yesterday. Again, remember, she is 8 months pregnant, 8+ months pregnant. So any moment she could just go into labor. That's a whole nother issue that's going on. So it's 10:12 a.m. right now. About an hour ago, Cassie's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, Douglas Wigdor, Cassie's lawyer, civil lawyer. See, that case has settled, but he still is her, I guess, like representative or whatever. Okay. He said, Your Honor, this is Cassie's lawyer. I have a right to be part of the meet and confer about which evidence Cassie can be questioned about. She is the only victim witness that has standing under Rule 412. Okay. So hold on, let me just read forward and see what's, as we noted in our email to court. The defense last night dumped 400 exhibits on it. Okay. All right. Let me just read through it then. Sometimes I like to read ahead just a little bit, just make sure I know what I'm talking about before I move forward. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. Okay. So Cassie's lawyer is basically saying Cassie has standing under this rule of procedure or whatever it is that allows her, or that grants or affords or confirms or whatever, her right to have her lawyer present during any meetings that y'all are going to have. So yesterday, at the end of the day, it looks like they were, based on what I was reading on tweets and stuff, the lawyers stayed after the jury was dismissed, and the lawyers had indicated on both sides that they didn't want to talk about these certain exhibits out in open court. They wanted to do it in private, in hush hush, in secret, away from the view of the public, which I think it's just starting to get a little out of hand. There's certain things that I'm like, yeah, absolutely, that shouldn't be in the public. FO tapes where somebody's getting tangled on and stuff like that. But, all these meetings, all these notes, all these documents, all these conversations, it's all happening behind closed doors. And wasn't there a trial recently where somebody kind of got almost let off, or there was a mistrial because of all these behind the closed door meetings? Maybe the prosecutor got removed or something like that. It's ringing a bell. Like, this is not good to keep going down this route. I mean, down this road. So it's like, why is all this secret stuff happening? It looks like Inner City Press has also taken notice. The judge, in response to Cassie's lawyer saying, oh, I want to be in the super secret meeting, the judge has said, we got to move forward. We have to move forward. We got to move forward. Remember, Cassie is expected to be on the stand for at least another day and a half. Really, truly, realistically, she could be on the stand another 3 full days based on what questions might come up. She is the witness, and she's going to give birth any moment. So the judge is like, we got to stop with the freaking super secret meetings in the back, y'all. We have to keep it moving. She looks over to the judge looks over to the prosecutor, Christy Slavic, and says, other issues, Miss Slavic? She said, as we noted in our email to the court early this morning. Okay, look, note, Inner City Press has in brackets, the judicial documents are not being put in the public docket. This is a concern to me, y'all. I think they need to put them in the public docket. The judge said we might get a sign from Miss Estevallo, who, okay, so we're getting confirmation from Inner City Press reporting from inside the courtroom. It will be Estevallo, Anna Estevallo, who will cross-examine Cassie. This is Diddy's lawyer who will ask the questions to Cassie. Now, this is breaking news. I mean, it was sort of looking like this is what was going to happen yesterday, but also there was all these rumors that Nicole Westmoreland, Diddy's one of his newest lawyers, I think she's the newest lawyer, that she was brought onto the case specifically to cross-examine Cassie. Doesn't look like she is going to be cross-examining Cassie. So then we learn, oh, okay. So then, sorry, I do this because my nose itches because I eat fruits that I think I'm allergic to, but I won't stop. And then when I scratch it, it scratches my makeup off. So that's the compromise. If y'all think I'm schizophrenic, maybe I am. I don't know. Anyway, so then the judge is like, look, listen, wig door, I hear you. That's cute. That's nice. We're not having any closed door meetings right now. We need to move it along. We might even, it might not even come up as an issue. We're going to learn from Miss Estevallo if it's whether it's even an issue or not. So, moving along. Then the U.S. attorney, the prosecutor says, Your Honor, Diddy and them dumped 400 exhibits on us last night. This cannot continue throughout the course of trial. Seriously, y'all, 400 exhibits. Remember yesterday, if you followed along, they were going back and forth. The sides were going back and forth over whether or not half, like most of trial, it seems like, is just like gamesmanship, like ambushes, all these little sneak attacks, flipping sides. It is kind of like modern day warfare. But yesterday they were arguing over whether or not, or how early Diddy's side was going to turn over the exhibits that they were going to use to cross-examine Cassie with. It looks like they're going to try and they looks like they're going to try to show her 400 exhibits or possibly up to 400. But yesterday, the prosecutors, Maureen Comey and them, I mean, there was a very heated discussion going on in the court argument about this. And Maureen Comey got so upset. She was hollering. They were hollering at each other in there. And she said, we need to have the exhibits that they're going to cross-examine Cassie on. They were supposed to, again, start cross-examining Cassie yesterday. So it's not going to happen until today. I'm not even sure it started even yet. But yesterday the prosecutor's like, we need the exhibits. They're going to do the cross-examination later today. We need these exhibits. And Mark Agnifilo, or one of these lawyers on Diddy's side, was like, okay, well, I mean, we got to print them out. Like we got a paralegal print them out right now or whatever. I mean, what do you want us to do? The feds were like, Your Honor, we were supposed to have these exhibits on April 27th. Why are they waiting until now? Literally the day that the cross-examination starts. The judge is like, actually, yeah, true. Looks over to Diddy's lawyer and he's like, give me one good reason I shouldn't make you turn them over as they're printed out. And they were like, Your Honor, we have no obligation to do that. And Agnifilo pipes in, Diddy's lawyer, and says, Your Honor, I highly doubt they only have 3 more hours left anyway. It's probably not even going to start today. It's probably going to start tomorrow. So basically, I'm paraphrasing. Obviously, I wasn't in there. This is just from gathering things around. Okay, so this issue that they were so concerned about, the feds were so concerned about yesterday, it did come around to actually be a legitimate issue because they got dropped on them last night 400 exhibits. Whoo, this cannot continue, Your Honor, throughout the course of the trial. The judge looks over to Diddy's lawyers and goes, hello, Miss Estevallo? She steps forward, speaks forward, and she says, Your Honor, we have been working tirelessly in response to Cassie's testimony. Okay, actually, good point. They probably found stuff out in the testimony from Cassie that they did not expect. But I also think they're gaming. They're all gamesmaning each other, I think, my opinion. So then the George goes, Then the judge goes, Mr. Agnifilo, I thought you were going to take this off my plate. Agnifilo said, I'm going to keep trying, Your Honor. I'm doing my best. He said, this is the main witness. She stands by herself. That said, we have been doing this all night, up till 3 a.m. We flagged exhibits for them. Okay. So he's like, Your Honor, we're doing our best. But like the same way that like they're now complaining that we did something, to them or whatever, like there was stuff in Cassie's testimony we did not expect. We were up all night. We were trying to put these exhibits together. I was personally up till 3 a.m, Your Honor. And we did, as we went, we flagged these exhibits. The U.S. attorney said, Your Honor, there are 24 exhibits that the government has objections to. They're listed in the chart. So 24 or so, 24 exhibits that were just turned over at some time just now, like by 3, like maybe even as late as 3, like less than 12 hours ago. 24 of them, the feds are saying this should not go in there. No. Okay, interesting. The judge says just the ones listed in the chart, and Inner City Press gives us another note. And I'm glad he's flagging this because I have concerns. He says, again, these judicial documents, meaning the ones that contain the chart that everybody's talking about in court right now, is supposed to be public. This stuff is supposed to be public. So I'm going to hold out hope. I'm going to hold out faith that this will eventually like become public in the next, day or two, because I just think this is preposterous. Like they're doing like 2 trials, one for the public and one for the back rooms. Yeah. Inner City Press said this is not the case. This is not how it goes usually in the Southern District of New York. So what higher up is letting this happen? I mean, we letting it happen or what? Judge finally says, bring the jury in. Jury enters. Okay, here we go. First question. Y'all, I can tell you I've been a little nervous about it and I've been a little stalling, but here we are. I guess about 30 minutes ago, the cross-examination started. Anna, I'm not sure how she does her name, Estevayo, and she is Diddy's lawyer. She will be asking the questions. Her first question. First question to Cassie. You loved Mr. Combs, correct? Cassie said, I did. For 11 years, you took care of him? She said, in some ways. You called him larger than life. I did, Cassie said. Others called him Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. No, that is not what she said. Others called him Diddy or Puff Daddy, but you called him Sean, right? Cassie said, yes. You knew a version of him the rest of the world couldn't see, right? The feds, objection. A version of him the rest of the world couldn't see. I guess that objection would be calls for speculation. I'm not really sure. The judge overruled the objection anyway. But Cassie answers the question in ways. That's her answer. So the question was, you knew a version of Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. The rest of the world did not. Or, quote, couldn't see. Right? Cassie said, in ways, and I guess like in some ways. The lawyer says, you kept coming back to him for 11 years. Cassie said, I wouldn't say coming back. No. Try again. Rephrase. The lawyer, Diddy's lawyer, says, you believe he loved you too. Cassie said, I did believe he loved me too. So when he cheated on you, Cassie, it hurt. Cassie said, no, not every time. No, no. Y'all, I got to look up what this lady looks like so I can imagine the scene. Hold on. Ana Estevayo Esquire. Let's see. Is this her? Hold on. Okay, I want to know if this is her. Hold on. Diddy lawyer Ana Estevao. I want to see what she looks like so I can really get it in my mind. That's Teeny Garagos. I guess she's like a I guess she's a ghost, y'all. I can't find a picture. I don't excuse me. I want to read it. I don't want to get too far behind, but I'm like already losing my voice. I don't know how I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. I'm not losing my voice. That can't happen to me. I don't possess that ability. I'm trying to give you all the visuals. Okay, somebody said they're taking a recess already anyway. So once we catch up, we go look for her a little more. Thank you, Jai. Jay or Jai? Ugh. Okay, let's get back to what's going on in here and then let's catch up. I'm told they're already taking a recess though. So this is why I get started a little bit later. I hate just sitting here all day refreshing and saying the same stuff. Okay. All right. So the last question, just to refresh your recollection, was from Diddy's lawyer to Cassie. So when he cheated on you, it hurt? Cassie said, no, not every time. No. Next question. Diddy's lawyer says, bring up defense exhibit. Objection, not in evidence. The judge goes, that's true. This is not in evidence. They already started having problems, y'all. So, okay. So even though the stuff's all off the record, I guess Diddy was trying to have a whole trial off the record because the judge said, well, I mean, I'm down to like let you do some stuff and like send me a little letter and stuff, but y'all can't just, the evidence has to go through, it has to go through all the processes of like, these people don't even know you were using this. There's brand new exhibits and it's not in evidence. Judge says this ain't in evidence. So Miss Estevao says, okay, fine. Just look at it to yourself, Cassie. Why did you send that message? Cassie said to let Diddy know I was going to dinner. Diddy's lawyer said, what was going on when these messages were sent? Cassie said, I don't know. I'm not sure. What was going on in your relationship then? Cassie said it was early. We were loving. Okay. Then Diddy's lawyer wants to enter this text message or text message exchange into evidence. And the feds say, objection, this is being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. The judge didn't go with that either. So 2 in a row objections the judge has overruled, siding against the prosecutors and I guess in favor of Diddy's side. Okay. Diddy's lawyer tells Cassie, please read. She says, I wrote, quote, I love you, smiley face. I'll fly anywhere for you. I love you, Cass. This 2009 email, objection from the prosecutors, objection, this is hearsay. The judge overrules the objection. He says, ask more questions. Meaning like, don't, lawyers are not supposed to testify. They're not supposed to lay down evidence without it going through evidence. They're not supposed to really, in these cases, I think you can ask, can you ask a leading question on cross? I don't know. I need to get that. That's one of the questions I'll ask my teacher. So anyway, they're reading from this purported 2009 email. And the prosecutor's like, objection, what? No, hearsay. The judge said, okay, well, can you ask the questions instead of having people read from an email? The attorney said, okay, from a BlackBerry, what is BG? Cassie said it means baby girl. What did you write? Ugh, this is sick. What Cassie wrote was, quote, "You hungry? Pop, pop." Okay, and then the lawyer says, and Diddy wrote to you, quote, "We are so in love. We don't do anything else. How long had you been seeing each other?" She said, like 2.5 years. I needed to refresh the page. Okay. So they've been seeing each other for like 2.5 years at the time of this email. I guess it's I guess it's still the 2009 email. Okay. Please read this. 1364. Cassie says, quote, this is a quote she's reading. "I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rushed me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention." I'm not sure this is a smart road to go down on this line of questioning, because the next question is, you wanted your special time with Mr. Combs. And Cassie said yes. But that just goes to show, like, she was really enamored. She was really obsessed. I mean, these are things that she said, not obsessed. You testified that you told him, "I love you so much, you make me a better woman." Cassie said, "I definitely wrote those messages. Yes. I love him so much, you make me a better woman." Yes, I did say that. Yes. Diddy's lawyer said, "You wrote, quote, I can't wait until we have a baby of our own." You knew that he had 6 children at the time? Cassie said, yes. I also noticed that, like, a lot of this, y'all, these cases lately, whether whoever's side you're on or not, it doesn't even matter. Like, where there's people accusing men of SA. We have Bree Stern accusing Andrew Tate. We have Cassie Ventura and a whole host of women accusing Diddy, but now just Cassie, because you'll see why I'm bringing it up. And Shannon Sharp, what was that girl's name? Gabriella Zuniga or Zuniga, whatever her name is. All 3 of these, Bree Stern, Gabriella, and Cassie, which I've heard a lot more from Cassie than these other 2. I mean, she's been on the stand for 2 days under penalty of perjury under oath, and I certainly look forward to hearing the testimony of the others. But there's this baby issue at play. Remember, Gabriella Zuniga called it baby gravy or something? The girl, Bree Stern, turned over text messages that said that purported purported text messages that showed Andrew Tate supposedly saying he wanted to make a baby or something more explicit like that. And now on the stand, oh my God, like 11 minutes ago, Cassie is being asked about wanting to have a baby with Diddy, even though she knew he had 6 kids already. The lawyer goes on. So now, these messages about freak off, when you say, quote, "You know it doesn't matter to me," you mean weekend or weekday, either is fine? Cassie said, "That's what it says." Ooh, she's doing good. Diddy says, "Maybe we can call Jules. Can you do it?" Cassie said, "Yes." The lawyer asks another question. This was an explicit message from you about the anticipated upcoming FO. The lawyer said, on the other side of the feds, "Objection, objection." The judge said, "We're going to take a recess." Woo. Okay. This is very, very interesting. I am certainly looking forward. I'm going to tell y'all, each day when we get done here, I like go and watch some of the people's videos who are there in court, and I like to like fill in. There's like YouTubers there in court, and I like to like fill in. Now listen, I mean, it's varying degrees of credibility. Okay, you can't hear everything you see anybody saying on YouTube, but can't believe it all. But I've been liking to watch it because during these moments, it's like, what is going on in here? What is this context? Why are they taking a break? But by the time we get done reading through what do we have? 6 or 7 different sources now today. We started the first day, I think, with 5. Now we up to 7, I think. We can kind of piece it together. But then we have like at the evening time, like even more piecing together in a little less like mainstream, like professional type of way. So it's been a really, really interesting to follow. Although not yesterday was like pretty rough. I think everybody was just a little, I'm still a little trying to shake it off. Like yesterday was just I think it was just the accumulation of this, all of it. And it's like, I don't know. I think who knows? Okay. So let's look at some other updates. We'll start with CNN. Okay. 57 minutes ago, jury enters the courtroom. Defense attorney will be cross-examining Cassie for the defense. Jury is now entering the courtroom. I'm going to need a lozenge on the break, okay? The defense asks Cassie if she and Diddy were in love during their relationship. Oh, yes, already getting more context. Defense attorney Ana Estevallo began her cross-examination of Cassie by asking about the couple's love during their relationship. Quote, "You and Diddy were in love for 11 years, right?" To which Cassie responded, "Yeah." She is good for her. She is like really earning a fan, how she's handling this. Probably a lot. Put a 1 in the chat if you're becoming a Cassie fan. "You loved him?" Cassie said, "I did." "And you believe that he loved you as well?" Cassie said, "Yes." 49 minutes ago, Cassie confirmed she knew a version of Diddy other people didn't see. The attorney asked Cassie if she remembered calling Diddy, quote, "larger than life" during her testimony. And Cassie was like, yes, I did say that. And I meant it. Yes. You're not going to gotcha me, stupid. "But to you," Ana Estevallo went on, "he was Sean. You knew the Sean that other people didn't see?" Cassie confirmed. The lawyer asked Cassie if she always knew that she was special to Combs. She said, "No, I don't think I always knew." "You sometimes knew?" She said, "Sometimes is fair." Cassie's voice on the stand is soft, almost a whisper, as she answered these questions. Y'all better send her some thoughts and prayers, y'all. Send Cassie and fam thoughts and prayers. Okay. Cassie says we're getting more context on this cheating stuff. Cassie says she felt more hurt at the beginning of their relationship when Diddy cheated. She confirmed that she was with Diddy for 11 years despite his flaws because she believed he truly loved her. So when he cheated on you, it really hurt. And this is a quote from Cassie. Quote, I would say not every time. She added that she spent much more time feeling hurt in the early stages of their relationship. 42 minutes ago, the jury saw emails between Diddy and Cassie from January 2008. This is 1 month before Britney Spears got put into an unconstitutional conservatorship for which nobody seems to have paid any consequence. Okay, so I like keeping the timeline of everything that's happening across the web. The jury saw emails from January 2008. Cassie read the emails out loud on the witness stand. It makes me, quote, "It makes me so happy that you would fly to Atlanta just to see me." Oh, Diddy said this. Okay. This is what Diddy had said to Cassie in an email. Quote, "It makes me so happy that you would fly to Atlanta just to see me. I'm a very lucky man. I love you," Diddy said. "I miss you and I can't wait to hold you." Cassie responded, quote, this is quotes from an email, from a purported email from January 2008. Cassie had purportedly responded, quote, "I'm a very lucky woman. I miss you so much. I would fly wherever you needed me, whenever. I love you." Okay, so in this email, it's like Diddy being like, "Oh, I'm so happy you would fly all the way to Atlanta for me." And she's like, "Oh, I'd fly anywhere for you. I love you." So that does sound sweet. That does sound cute. That does sound nice. None of this means he can't have done the other stuff that she says he did. So to me, so far, so what? Cassie testified that early in their relationship, around this time, she and Diddy would often send each other loving messages. And actually, again, I'm not sure. Look, I'll tell y'all I'm biased. I'm not an unbiased party. I would have never been selected for this jury. I have wavered on how biased I am, but I'm pretty much biased against Diddy. Like, I am. I wouldn't have been a fair juror. However, I am trying to be fair in my analysis because the real truth is, even if I have a bias, I also have the knowledge that I don't really know what happened. So I don't know. And I'm going to keep an open mind. Now, that being said, this seems like a bad move on Diddy's lawyer's side because these emails didn't even come out yesterday. But the fact they now came out does actually help me to understand more, if all of this is true, what Cassie said, why she didn't leave. That's the big question. You were with him 11 years. Why didn't you leave? What else? There was no consequences when you left, et cetera, et cetera. Well, so we went over a few reasons possible why that could be yesterday, but this just gave me a whole new, brand new reason I didn't have in the first place. I didn't have this reason before, but now it's like, wow, he was nice. They made him seem like really, I don't know, bad. I'll just say bad. She like basically all but said he turns into literally a demon or the devil. His eyes turns black. He's demonic. I mean, now they're like showing in the early parts of the relationship, Diddy was so nice to her. Look how sweet and cute this message is. It's like, okay, well, if he was so nice in the beginning, maybe that could have made her hold on for hope a little longer. Like maybe he'll go back to being how he was before or whatever. Because he's like, "Oh, it make me so happy that you would fly to Atlanta just to see me. I'm so lucky. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait to hold you." She's like, "I'm so lucky too. I miss you so much. I would fly wherever." So, okay, well, that seems fine. Nothing wrong with that. Makes it seem more like it was a normal-ish relationship until he started acting insane. Here are some of the text messages. Ooh, we get some actual exact verbatim text messages from CNN 30 minutes ago. Here's some of the text messages Cassie and Diddy exchanged. The jury was being shown a series of texts between Cassie and Diddy. Diddy testified that one text message exchange was via BlackBerry about 2.5 years into their relationship. Some of that exchange reads as follows. Cassie says, "Going to sleep now so it can be tomorrow." Aw. "Going to sleep now so it can be tomorrow faster." Diddy said, "Love my baby." She said, smiley face. Ugh, this is making me so sad. Because I've never been in a relationship like this. Okay, never. But I'm sure most of us, any gender, have been in a relationship where somebody just has these mood swings. And it's like sometimes they're just so nice and sweet. And if they could just be like that and maybe even just a little bit neutral, like the rest of the time, even have a couple little fights here and there, it would just be perfect. But it's like you just don't know what you're going to get. And it's like, I just can't imagine, sitting there reading these text messages and be like, "Oh, he's being nice today. Oh, this goes so good." And I bet you it would keep somebody coming back. Now, does that mean anything else beyond that? No, I'm not trying to say that. All I'm saying is the question, why would she keep going back? I could think of many answers, including this. This seems nice. This seems nice. This is Again, it's the fact that Diddy's lawyers are putting this in here. I know they're trying to make him seem nice, but like it almost makes it Cassie's case stronger because it's like, okay, it does make sense. There were nice times. She was just also being abused. If she testified, you know. She said, I'm going to sleep so it could be tomorrow faster. He said, love my baby. She said, smiley face. Diddy said, I love you so much it consumes my life. And he might have been obsessed. I have no problem believing the man was obsessed with her. I wonder if Cassie said, I wonder the same thing for myself. Like, who was I before we decided to be together? Enmeshed. Well, in Cassie's case, you can also see that it was because she was like, according to her testimony, being completely controlled. He said, I love you so much it consumes my life. She said, I wonder the same thing for myself. Like, who was I before we decided to be together? Diddy said, I never knew it could be like this. I wonder if he had a bot farm sending text messages. The jury also saw text messages from August 2009 in which Diddy told Cassie, I love you so much it makes me cry. In that exchange, Cassie called Diddy Pop Pop. Earlier this week, Cassie testified she called him Pop Pop, which was the name she called her grandpa. Cassie testified she wanted more time and attention from Diddy when they were dating. She testified she often wanted more time with Diddy while they were in a relationship. The jury saw a message that Cassie sent Diddy in April 2010. Quote, I haven't talked to you at all. I know you can take 3 minutes out of your day to talk to me and you don't even try. Okay, y'all. TT, we got some tea. She said, I haven't talked to you at all. This is a quote from a message or an email. I think it says message. I guess a text message. I haven't talked to you at all. I know you can take 3 minutes of your day to talk to me and you don't even try. You're in too much of a rush to get me off the phone. That's not being in a relationship with someone that you love and are in love with. I am really hurt by the way you deal with me. I don't need your money. I need some attention. I am thankful, but I can pay for these things myself. It makes it seem like she was trying to stand up for herself. Another piece of evidence that I don't think helps Diddy. 30 minutes ago, she recalled what made her fall in love with Diddy. Golly, she's really already, it seems like she's doing good so far based on the very limited stuff we have. She testified she fell in love with Diddy, with his real personality. The attorney for Diddy asked Cassie what made her fall in love with him, prompting Cassie to say she hadn't thought about it in a while. This is a quote. In the beginning of the relationship, this is a quote. Quote, the beginning of the relationship was really, we spoke about it already. It was really fast-paced. Scary, but the more time I spent with him and got to know him, his real personality, at least what I thought was his real personality, and I liked it. I liked what it was, she said. When asked what about his personality Cassie liked, she said in the beginning of their relationship, he was very sweet and attentive. Cassie also described Diddy as having a, quote, charismatic, big personality that everyone really loved. Okay, then she was asked about her desire to make Diddy happy. So just to let y'all know, we're going to go, we're going to complete the CNN. We do have 1, 2, if you're just joining, hi, hello. If you could hit the like on the way in, take your shoes off, get a sip of water. The sources we're looking at are CNN. Right now, this is CNN.com. Also, we're going to be looking today throughout the trial, throughout the cross-examination. Today, we're going to be looking at other sources, including the New York Times, the Washington Post, ABC, BBC, NBC, and of course, the primary source, Inner City Press. What I'm doing here, I'm trying to put a little method to the madness here. I'm going to finish the CNN updates, which I think we have about 3 or 4 more or so of those. Then we're going to switch back to Inner City Press and catch up with the live updates. I don't know. They might still be on recess. I don't know. Defense attorney asks, so Diddy's attorney asks Cassie about her desire to make Diddy happy. She asked Cassie a series of questions about how she earned Diddy's trust. I think they're just kind of trying to make her feel guilty too, because it's like, you knew you were special. You knew he trusted you. You know what I mean? You knew he let you see parts of him no one else did. Like, and I am certain that Diddy in his mind has convinced himself he didn't do anything wrong and Cassie is wronging him. I'm certain of that. I am certain that he has. So in his mind, he's probably like thinking that he's probably telling his lawyers, like, she's betraying me. This witch, she's betraying or whatever, you know? So the defense attorney, Diddy's attorney, asks Cassie a series of questions about how she earned Diddy's trust and about how she wanted to make him happy. And to make him happy, you told him that you wanted to do freak offs? The lawyer asked. Cassie said, there's a lot more to that. Then 24 minutes ago, she requested a break. Oh, it's just 2 minutes ago, she went back to the stand. So we're doing good on time. Let's just check Inner City Press. Get caught up there, and then we'll move to the New York Times updates. Okay. Hold on. I'm just trying to find the most recent one we read from Inner City Press. Somebody told me yesterday, I need to go remember his name, that he's what was he, like a tiler for the floors, like does floors, like a ceramics layer or something. And I just like imagine like being on the radio of somebody's construction site. He said he had headphones on, but like I just imagine being on the radio of someone's like the phone or the speakers and they can't see me. And I'm like, oh, I got to tell them, specifically them who are not watching, the construction workers and the people that are laying tiles and the people that are doing work. I got to tell them because they have things to do. They can't be looking over here. So for them, shout out, blue collar makes the world go round. The world will not stop spinning. The world will not stop going if we lose bankers, I promise you. We'll just figure out some money, new money real quick. It'll be gold. We could trade seeds like we used to. But let some roofers, some welders, oh, stop working. Anyway, shout out to y'all. Okay, so there were some continued tweets from Inner City Press. This all happened before the break. So let me finish reading that. No, they weren't. Okay, look, they came back 10:48. So at 5 minutes ago. All right. Ooh, they're back. Okay, here we go. We're updated. We're up to speed. This is a few minutes ago. 5 minutes. They're back. The judge says to the lawyer, Diddy's lawyer, you may proceed. The lawyer showed something to Cassie. This is from Diddy to you. You responded with an extremely explicit message, right? Cassie said yes. This is 2 days after the planning of a freak off, right? Cassie said yes. Okay, now we're going to go to the New York Times, and I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Oh, my Lord. Every single day we have to look at Janet's fit. Janet, a.k.a. Janice Smalls. Womp womp. You know Diddy's mama's maiden name is Smalls? According to Wikipedia. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see the birth certificate. That's her, I guess, today with her Indiana Jones hat with her Bacchanalia coins around the brim. Okay, an hour ago, Cassie had entered. Okay, so now we're in the New York Times. This is one of our sources, and they just got back from a recess, so we're kind of caught up with in real time what's going on from Inner City Press. So I do want to go backtrack, and see what details we can gather from the last hour being reported by the other news sources. If anybody's saying they like my shirt, you're welcome. I mean, thank you. It is from Mexico. Shout out to Mexico. I'll give you a little stand up later. Let's see. So this was an hour ago. Julia Jacobs from the New York Times said Cassie has entered the courtroom and is in the witness box. She's wearing a double-breasted black suit jacket over a light-colored shirt. Yesterday, after hours of direct testimony recounting her abusive relationship with Diddy, the music mogul turned around to his family and mouthed the words, "I'm okay." Yeah, Diddy. Diddy turned around and looked at his family and said, "I'm okay." Clearly he's not, if he was doing even half the stuff that was alleged by Cassie yesterday, but I digress. Now she'll be questioned by his lawyers. This is New York Times an hour ago. Diddy's lawyer opened her cross-examination with this question. Quote. Where's my little, okay. This is the question. First question on cross-examination. Quote. You and Sean Combs were in love for 11 years, right? Yeah, Cassie said. You knew Diddy didn't want anybody else to see but you, the lawyer for Diddy says. The defense has begun to try to establish that Cassie's relationship with Diddy was a long-term, loving, but jealousy-fueled and troubled relationship. Cassie did not disagree with her. That's it, y'all. Anytime you could say, yeah, and, yep, so what? Just admit it. There's no reason to lie. Cassie cannot lie. Once she lies one single time, her credibility is shot. Shot. Now the jury doesn't know who to believe. So she just got to say, yeah. It was a crazy relationship. It was toxic. The first pieces of evidence from the defense were loving messages between Cassie and Diddy from the beginning of their relationship. Quote, I miss you so much. Bunch of O's. And I'd fly wherever you needed me. Whenever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exclamation points for y'all that's doing the tiles. She wrote this in that 2008 email. In 2009, Diddy messaged her, I love you. So with the 5 O's, Diddy messaged her, I love you so much. It makes me cry. So Diddy messaged Cassie, he loved her so much, it makes him cry. Again, y'all, I still have no problem believing Diddy loved Cassie. I think some people love people, and that is what they think love is. As is typical in cross-examinations, there's plenty of objections from the other side, making the testimony slower and more stilted. Cassie had the opportunity to tell a sweeping narrative about her life and relationship with Diddy, and now it's time for the defense to get as much useful evidence for his side in front of the jury as they can. Still reading from the New York Times, we have Julia Jacobs 46 minutes ago. Anna Estevallo, Diddy's lawyer, asked Cassie why she fell in love with him. She described the beginning of their relationship when she was 19 and he was like in his mid-30s, so like my age. Diddy was my age trying to mess around with a 19-year-old. Oh my God. And he was like a mogul at that time too. She described the beginning of the relationship as fast-paced and scary, but she testified that, quote, his real personality, or at least what I thought was his real personality, came out, and I liked who he was. Sweet, attentive. The defense spent half an hour establishing the love and passion in the relationship between Diddy and Cassie. Now we're starting to get into the voyeuristic sexual encounters known as FOs at the center of the case. Quote, so to make him happy, you told him you wanted to do a FO, right? Cassie said, no. No, there's a lot more to that. So she's like, no, that's a false. Cassie calls out this woman. Good for her. Good for Cassie, y'all. The prayers must be working. The black magic they tried to do against Cassie must not be working. 38 minutes ago, New York Times, Julia Jacobs reporting the defense's goal is to establish there was nothing coercive about freak-offs between Diddy and Cassie. The jury was seeing messages from 2009 in which Cassie and Diddy were discussing a potential FO with an escort named Jules. So Jules is the one who was allegedly there the day of the CNN footage that we saw. They were discussing a potential FO with an escort named Jules, who's coming up again and again at trial. I bet you they're going to call Jules to testify. I can't wait to see his outfit. It's kind of like a fashion show up there, y'all. It's kind of like a fashion show over there. I might go one day for trial, but not anytime in the next week or two for sure. Maybe 3. So what was the message? What was the actual message Cassie wrote? And she read it out loud, quote, "I'm always ready to freak off, LOLOL," Cassie wrote. She has testified that she never wanted to participate in freak-offs, but did so to please Combs. Okay, so here they're already starting to try and impeach her credibility because she's testified under penalty of perjury. She never wanted to do the freak-offs. But there it is in writing that says she's always ready to do the freak-offs, LOLOL. This is from 2009, okay? Actually, I don't know if that's 2009. Might be. But even if it was from 2009, I mean, that was a long time ago. And also many years went by that she could have, for me, if I'm in the jury, and again, I wouldn't be very, I would be biased probably a little bit. But if I'm in the jury, I'm going to look and see that she said this in 2009, maybe even if she did like 20 freak-offs, willingly, but like hundreds of them were not. That's so what? Again, so what? I don't care. I need to know why I'm supposed to care. It does make it seem like maybe Cassie's not as credible. That is like by default, but to me, it doesn't, because Cassie told us why she was saying those things. She did tell us she left. She would get picked up. She would get hunted down. I'm wondering if they're going to bring in Roger Bonds to bolster what Cassie has said. Sitting between his lawyers, Diddy, who is wearing a sand-colored sweater, new sweater. I don't know. Is sand the same color as oatmeal? Maybe that could be the same then. And a collared shirt. He's been more fidgety today than he was the last 2 days. I like this. I like these types of details. Diddy has been more fidgety today than he was last 2 days. It does seem like about midpoint yesterday, different people were reporting about midpoint yesterday, he went downhill in the confidence department, and it seems to have been taking a spiral ever since. But the first day, he was smiling, blowing kisses, doing little hearts like this, and his daughters didn't bother showing up yesterday, which I don't blame them. They're children. They shouldn't have shown up the first 2 days, if you ask me. But today he's fidgeting. He's leaning back and forth, taking his black glasses on and off. Y'all, he's got glasses. Pawpaw Diddy in the courthouse with the glasses. During the break, he handed a note to his lawyer who was leading the cross. So he handed a note to Ana Estevallo. His 3 sons and his mom are all there, but the daughters are not. 14 minutes ago, Cassie back in the witness box. She's clutching what... Oh, she's got a mala. What's that thing called? It's called a mala, right? It's kind of like a rosary. It's got beads, usually 108 beads, and sometimes 109. They'll have one at the bottom, and then it'll be like a little tassel off the bottom. And many uses for them. They come in different materials, but you do kind of like a prayer on each bead sort of thing, or a mantra, or a whatever. And she's got one of those. Man, I feel worse and worse for this poor lady every day. She's clutching what appears to be a chain of beads with a tassel and is watching the jurors as they file in. She got her prayer beads out, y'all. Om Namah Shivaya. The defense 12 minutes ago, this is still Julia Jacobs. She is going. She is typing. New York Times, the defense has picked up again with the sexually explicit messages that Cassie sent to Diddy in anticipation of a freak-off. Quote, "I can't wait," Diddy wrote. I can't wait either, 22-year-old Cassie replied. Okay. Let's go over to, oh my gosh, look at all these views. I love when numbers go together like that. 3333. Okay. Let's go to Inner City Press. It's been about 10 minutes. Okay. So just to remind you, the last message we read on Inner City Press's coverage thread, he said it was, let's see, Diddy. Okay. Is Diddy's lawyer saying to Cassie, Cassie's on the witness stand, Diddy's lawyer is questioning her. This is from Diddy to you. You respond with an extremely explicit message, right? Cassie said, yes. This is 2 days after planning a freak off, right? Cassie said, yes. Diddy then said, I want to see. How did you reply? Cassie said, I can't wait either. You wrote, quote, I feel like I want to bleep, right? Cassie said, that's what it says. Diddy says, I'm so excited, I can't concentrate. What do you say back to him? That I would go to Dwayne Reed for candles and then set up the room. Did you understand that he was going to take another video of you? Objection, objection, Your Honor. Speculation. The judge says to Diddy's lawyer, you can move on. You ask to Diddy, any pills on you? Cassie goes, yes. Again, y'all, this is so far is just corroborating what Cassie already said. And I think to some extent, this speaks to the skill level of the prosecutors. I mean, I know the first day people were a little let down thinking there should have been more, there should have been this, that. But however, what you got to do is you got to take the teeth out of Diddy's defense. You have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. What is Diddy's defense going to do? What is their job? Why are they getting paid millions of dollars? It's to create a reasonable doubt that Cassie was bleep ficked. Okay. But Cassie got out in front of a lot of this stuff already. It's like, yeah, tell me something I don't freaking know. She told us even about the Glade candles. She said he wanted that. She said she would get jealous. She would, at first, she was excited, nervous. She could tell it actually made him pleased with her. She felt like that was the first time he actually, and the only time he actually said she was good at anything. So it does make sense to me with the prosecution's theory of the case. Cassie would readily, happily go set up the room at 22 years old when she's with this 38-year-old or whatever. That I'm not saying one way or the other that, you know, guilty, not guilty. I'm just saying strategically, the prosecution was able to take a lot of the teeth out of this defense, I think. Cassie even asked for pill. Do you got any pills on you? Because what did she also tell us? She had to do these pills to do the FOs. So she's like, all right, I'm going to get the supplies, but I'm going to need the supplies if you want me to really be able to do it. And again, y'all remember, this isn't just doing it, okay? There was all kind of stuff Diddy wanted them. They wanted them to role play, act stuff out, pretend to be things, people, places. I mean, just all kind of stuff. What pills were you taking then? Cassie says opiates. You deleted videos on your devices, right? Cassie said yes. What did you write? She said that I need to feel this is my husband, the only one who will see this side of me. Again, y'all, this is only strengthening Cassie's case, and this ain't even evidence she put up. Diddy's making Cassie's case for her, I think. I mean, this is the way I see it. Because she's saying here, right? This is the defense's exhibit. Diddy wanted this up here. Cassie's saying, yeah, I wanted it to feel like Diddy was my husband. He called me Cassie Combs. I wanted him to be the only person who would see this side of me. I would do it for him because I loved him so much. Were you afraid? Diddy's lawyer asks to Cassie. That Diddy was only seeing you for sex in this way? You know she thought about it. She said, yeah, that was a concern. You still weren't public in your relationship with him? Cassie said, correct. Were freak-offs important? Cassie said, integral to us. Oh my God. Britney Spears has entered the chat. Britney Spears alert. Oh my God. Oh, y'all, it's going to happen. I can feel it. I can feel it. And the people who have been in here, I'm about to get emotional. The people who have been in here, y'all know since the first day of trial, I've been saying it. Lou Taylor's coming up. Maybe somehow in the next couple years, this can lead to real justice for Britney, because so far nobody has had any, nobody's paid any. Who was at your 21st birthday party in Las Vegas? Cassie said, Britney Spears, Dallas Austin. How did you get there? How did you get them there? How did you get Britney Spears and Dallas Austin at your birthday party? And coming as a surprise, definitely not to me. They came for Diddy. Woo, where's this Estevao going, y'all? She said, you're very beautiful and charming. Cassie said, thank you. She said, it's true. Cassie's irresistible. Everyone falls in love with Cassie. Diddy's own lawyers. You're so pretty. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. The names, they're getting dropped, y'all. Tommy Mottola has entered the chat. We got Britney Spears name drop. We got Dallas Austin, who has some connection some way to the mysterious incident that ended up where Aaliyah was no longer with us. And now we have Tommy Mottola. This is the one that, Michael Jackson called literally Satan. He was like, Tommy Mottola is the devil. He's devilish. These devilish people do devilish things. Tommy Mottola is who he was talking about. Tommy Mottola, old head in the music executive industry, in the music industry. And he's also the one that was with Mariah Carey in similar innocent till proven guilty ways. Okay. There's mysteriously overlap between Michael Jackson as well, because Diddy's now current head of security was there on the scene. One of the two people there on the scene when Michael Jackson became no longer alive. Okay. All right. Well-known producer. And you were an up-and-coming star? She said, I guess you could say that. After you signed with Bad Boy, things were still platonic with Diddy? Cassie said, yeah. Cannot believe she said Britney Spears on the stand. Y'all, what if Britney Spears ends up being the surprise witness of this, and then everybody Googles Britney Spears surprise witness and all my videos come up? Okay. You had a rough performance? Cassie said 106 in Park. It didn't go well for me. How did he help you after that? She said, we did a YouTube video. He told me everybody makes mistakes. What was wrong? She said, I couldn't hear myself. So she had a bad performance, and Diddy was trying to console her and make her feel better. And he said, everybody messes up. Everybody makes mistakes. Let's make a YouTube video. Okay. So Miss SpaceX says she thinks that they are now trying to establish why Diddy didn't publish her album. So they're going to try and make it seem like Cassie wasn't a good artist. Like she wasn't a good performer or whatever. She had a bad performance or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that is what's going on, but that is Miss SpaceX's speculation. I still can't believe they said Britney Spears. So she had a bad performance. She couldn't hear herself. Let's go to the New York Times. Let's see. We got 3 new updates there. Let's see if we can fill in some of these details. Okay, 12 minutes ago, the New York Times, Julia Jacobs reporting the messages between Cassie and Diddy in 2009 involved discussion of some logistics before the FOs, buying candles at a pharmacy, and their aftermath. In one message, Cassie asked Diddy if he had any more pills, and she said she was taking opiates at the time. And in another, she told him, quote, "I just deleted our little vid off her camera." She said, calling it dope. Okay, so it's conflicting, right? So it's like, I deleted our video, but also it was dope. Again, I could see how, if she genuinely was like afraid of him and afraid he was gonna be upset, maybe she'd be like, "Oh, it wasn't that I didn't like the video. I just didn't want someone to find my phone," whatever, right? Like softening the potential backlash or whatever. 8 minutes ago, Julia Jacobs reporting for the New York Times. The defense is focusing on a message that Cassie sent to Diddy in 2009 that expresses some conflicting feelings about FOs. She wrote in part, quote, okay, we're getting some quotes. All right, we're getting some quotes from the email. So we're actually seeing exactly things that she has told Diddy in these text messages. And of course, the jury saw this, 15 minutes or so ago. But we're now hearing about it 8 minutes ago. Here's the quote, "When we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right. Like it literally made sense for the next step in our life together. I get nervous that I'm just becoming the girlfriend that you get your fantasies off with, and that's it. The girlfriend." Interesting. I don't get the other part. I don't get it. She's like, I don't get the other part. What's the other part? I don't know. But this is the quote. This is the quote from the email. Quote, this is Cassie to Diddy. "When we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right. Like it literally made sense for the next step in our life together. I get nervous that I'm just becoming the girlfriend that you get your fantasies off with, and that's it. I don't get the other part. Anymore, at least." His lawyer asked Cassie if her hesitation reflected in the message came from a concern that she wouldn't be seen as his full girlfriend because of her participation in these encounters with male escorts. And she said, "I think that's a way to look at it, I guess." Yeah. Okay. And then Ben Cesario, reporting for the New York Times, says prosecutors quickly work to establish Cassie's agency in freak-offs. It was only about a half hour into the cross-examination of Cassie that a lawyer drew on messages that the couple exchanged in an attempt to establish one of the defense's key arguments in the case, that Cassie and other women involved in the case were willing participants in the sex marathons known as freak-offs. The lawyer questioning Cassie on Today, Thursday, presented a message that Cassie wrote to Diddy in 2009 that says, "I'm always ready to freak off." 4 minutes ago, we have another update from Julia Jacobs from the New York Times. Much of the cross-examination of Cassie so far has revolved around the issue of consent in freak-offs. It was clear from Cassie's communications with Diddy that she had conflicting feelings about these encounters. She testified on Wednesday that she plainly did not want to participate in them because it made her feel disgusting and empty. But with the messages the defense has presented today, Diddy's lawyer has been trying to make the argument that Cassie's hesitancy was more about her fear of being relegated to the role of freak-off partner than Diddy's true girlfriend. I mean, I don't get it. So far, I'm not feeling like I understand where they're coming from. Like, what are they doing? We have 3 new updates. Oh my God, more details from the Britney Spears. Oh my God, y'all. Okay. 2 new updates from CNN. Cassie says she was using opiates around the time she sent the text messages. The jury saw another message between Diddy and Cassie from August 2009 where she talked about wanting more pills, and she talked about also deleting a video. In the texts, Cassie asked Diddy if he had any more pills, and she testified that she was using opiates like Norco around the time these messages were sent. In the same text messages, Cassie also mentioned deleting a video, but she testified that she wasn't sure what kind of video she was referring to in the messages. She couldn't be sure for sure that it was a freak off recording. Okay, here's another new detail. This is important detail. Diddy's lawyer asks if Cassie preferred to have the freak off videos recorded on her devices. So it's like, Cassie, did you prefer to have them recorded on your devices? Cassie said, I didn't want them to be recorded at all. So no. 2 minutes ago, Cassie gives more. This is CNN.com. Cassie gives more details about her 21st birthday. She testified it was, quote, fair to say she was a celebrity in her own right by the time she was 21 years old. Diddy brought other celebrities to her 21st birthday party, which was held at a nightclub in Las Vegas, she said. When the defense attorney asked her how a 21-year-old could attract celebrity guests, you see, they're not saying Britney Spears. They sure didn't mention Britney Spears' name. That's okay. That's okay. I saw it. We saw it. I saw it. 10,000 people saw it in this chat. She didn't know them. Wow. When defense attorney asked how a 21-year-old could attract celebrity guests, Cassie said, that was all him. I didn't know them. Cassie testified during the prosecution's direct examination that she ran away when Diddy kissed her for the first time at that 21st birthday party. Ooh, the Britney Spears of it all. Okay, let's go to Inner City Press. Okay. Okay, so the last the last tweet that we read from Inner City Press was 8 minutes ago, and it was the one where Diddy's lawyer had said, you had a rough performance, and Cassie was like, 106 in Park. Yeah, it did not go well for me. How did Diddy help you after that? She said, we did a YouTube video. Everybody makes mistakes, he said. What was wrong? She said, I couldn't hear myself. The lawyer says, you were dating Mr. Leslie? How much older than you was he? Cassie said 10 years. Then you traveled to Miami with Diddy? The flyer of the event was just a cover. You traveled there to spend time with him, right? She said, that's true. So like in her lawsuit, she had said that that Diddy had made a fake flyer for an event okay, Cassie, come host a party, come host an event. And Diddy had made a fake flyer, wasn't real. And it was really just a ruse to get Cassie to go and hang out with Diddy. And Cassie's like, yeah, true. You had a tattoo of Mr. Leslie's initials on your body, right? She said, yeah. How many tattoos did you have then? Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. How many tattoos did she have? Judge said overruled, but let's keep it moving. She said 3 tattoos. The one on your arm? She said, it says no regrets. Oh, there's Ryan Leslie. Thank you. Thank you to Mrs. SpaceX. She's provided a picture. She's become like a secondary commentator here. That's the 10-year older than Cassie boyfriend. He taught you how to do this type of activity? She said he did. Look at this. Tell me when you're ready. Can you read it? Cassie said, you can read it. It's making me laugh. It's from 2007. Cassie's like, I can't bring myself to read that shit. Can you read it? And it says, and then the lawyer goes, you wrote, I feel protected. You are sweet. God forbid. Cassie thought the man was sweet in 2007. Okay, we have 2 updates from the New York Times. Let's see if we can get some more details. Okay. Much of the cross examination of Cassie so far has revolved around the issue of consent and freak offs. It was clear from Cassie's communications with Diddy that she had conflicting feelings about these encounters. Oh, we already read that one. Okay. Cassie has been more monotone, or wait, hold on. The 6 minutes ago, Julia Jacobs from the New York Times. Cassie had been monotone and seemed a bit resigned while reading her sexually explicit messages to Diddy. She became a bit more animated while discussing her rise to fame in music, describing her 21st birthday party in Las Vegas, in which Britney Spears attended, thanks to an invitation from Diddy. Again, y'all, they're linking Diddy and Britney. I'm not going to say I tried to tell y'all 5 years ago, but I did. Okay. Because Britney had her own bad TV performance that exact same very year. That was the 2007, right? That was when Britney had the performance where they put her on a widescreen and made her look way bigger than she was. Plus, she wasn't even big at all. But even if she was, who cares? Because she just had 2 kids. Same exact year. Britney went out and partied with Diddy the night before that. I made a video about it. Go check out my playlist, BJ Investigates the Web. I think it's the first or second video on the web. So she kind of became more animated when she was discussing her rise to fame in music, describing her 21st birthday party in Vegas, where Britney Spears attended, thanks to Diddy inviting her, and also thanks to the fact she had a bad early TV performance on BET, which Diddy helped her move on from. Early in today's cross-examination, this has been Cesario from the New York Times. Early in today's cross-examination of Cassie, a lawyer for Diddy asked her to recall the love and passion that existed in the early stages of their relationship. They cited many flirtatious text messages between them. I miss you so much. I would fly wherever you needed me, whenever. She wrote these in 2008. Other messages, she expressed eagerness for freak-offs. The testimony markedly was different in tone from her questioning by prosecutors over the last 2 days, in which she described the freak-offs as nightmarish horrors in which she was forced to participate in degrading, drug-fueled esque for sometimes days at a time. The questioning today was aimed at proving one of the defense's key arguments, that Cassie and other women involved in the case were not coerced into doing this stuff, but were willing participants. Let's see. We got another update from CNN. Cassie testifies that Diddy was the second older man she had dated. She met Diddy through Ryan Leslie, who was I think her boyfriend, a music producer she dated for about 3 years when she was 18 or 19. He was 10 years older than her, meaning Diddy was the second older man she dated at that point. Cassie and Diddy had a platonic relationship when she first signed to his company. He supported her after a bad TV performance, and that meant a lot to her. Following her 21st birthday, she wanted to join Diddy on a trip to Miami. But she was still dating Leslie, so she testified that they used a flyer for an event as an excuse to go on the trip. All right, let's see what Inner City Press is saying. Okay. So 7 minutes ago, Cassie was like, I'm not reading this 2011 email because it's making me literally laugh. It's just too much. It's just too much. You can read it if you want to. But in this text message, it said, or in this tweet, it says that Diddy's lawyer said that Cassie wrote, quote, I feel protected. You are sweet. And Cassie's on the stand going, I'm about to bust out laughing. Like, no, I'm not reading that. You wrote, I see that Carrie is better fitting for you. I'm hurt that you think I'm malicious. You're very important to me. X. Cass. Cassie laughed. What were you trying to convey? Cassie said, it's like a journal entry. You discuss Carrie Morgan. Did you think Diddy was attracted to her? She said there was a point in the very beginning, yeah. Did that complication carry on in your relationship? Cassie said, not really. Carrie was just always with us. Remember, this is the girl who yesterday they testified that Cassie hit this lady, this Carrie, in the face with a hanger, and a wooden one. And that caused Cassie and Carrie Morgan's relationship to end. And that was like her best friend of 17 years. Okay. We got a brand new tweet 32 seconds ago. I'd like to start asking about freak offs. Start? I thought she'd been asking about her. Sometimes you wore a wig and a mask. She said yes. Diddy's lawyer starts to try to say something, but she gets cut off. She goes, the general public did not know. Objection. The judge says, rephrase the question. And Diddy's lawyer does. She says, no one knew until November 2023. In the public? Cassie said, yes. Okay. Let's go to Washington Post. This is our details queens. They give the detail. Oh, they're not really on top of it quite yet this morning. Cassie asked for a break after the defense attorney began presenting sexually explicit emails between her and Diddy. The jury was out for 10 minutes. That was Shayna Jacobs. This is Anne Brannigan from the Washington Post. The idea that the freak-offs were consensual is central to Diddy's defense. And after the mid-morning break, his defense lawyer, Anna Estevallo, prompted Cassie to read very explicit messages sent between her and Diddy. In these messages, which were sent on BlackBerry devices in 2009, Cassie describes giving something to Diddy with her mouth. You can read it on the screen if you would like, with the exception that this would be performed during a freak-off. So it's like sexts. They're reading sexts in court, which I think is probably one of the biggest nightmares Cassie had about this whole thing, having to relive all of this like this. But she's literally laughing on the stand. In a message to Diddy from about 2 years into their relationship, Cassie suggested, this is Shayna Jacobs, Washington Post. Message to Diddy 2 years into their relationship, Cassie suggested that having relations with male escorts and freak-offs felt right early in their relationship. But her feeling about them had now changed. When we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right, she wrote to him in 2009. She added that it, quote, literally made sense of the next step of our life together. But she said she was starting to feel just like an object of his fantasies. And freak-offs began to feel, ooh. She did tell him, she did express to him in this quote. This is quote coming from the Washington Post. From the emails that allegedly Cassie and Diddy were exchanging, she said the freak-offs were starting to feel, quote, a bit dirty and grimy as opposed to sensual and spontaneous. Cassie said she was dissatisfied that she and Diddy were not a couple publicly. Lawyers for Diddy have argued that she was a willing participant in their client's sexual exploits, but was sometimes deeply jealous over his unfaithfulness and unavailability. CNN has an update. Let's see. Cassie told Diddy she needed to, quote, feel safe in text messages. The jury saw these text messages between Cassie and Diddy from December 2009 that Cassie confirmed reflected the, quote, open communication between them. She told defense attorney Anna Estevallo that at the time she felt comfortable expressing her needs to Diddy over participating in the freak-offs. She wrote in the 2009 message that she needed to, quote, feel safe like home, to be more open with the things we do in bed. So she was saying, I don't feel safe. You need to be more safe. I don't feel safe. Okay. You want me to do all this stuff, like be vulnerable, put myself out there like that. You're going to have to make me feel more like home. She continued, quote, ooh, the last time was a mistake, she said. but since has made me feel a little dirty and grimy as opposed to esual and spontaneous. That's the only reason why I go back and forth in my mind with wanting and not wanting to do it. Cassie wrote, when we used to FO, we were so in love. There were no questions asked. She did not feel that same level of love anymore, at least. So he kind of stopped acting like he was so in love, because you act like you're real in love. Then you get all this blackmail material. And then you don't have to act like you're in love anymore, because then you can just say, let's watch this material together on the plane. Two new updates from New York Times. Ooh. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. We're getting details from the New York Times. We have Julia Jacobs from the New York Times. Cassie was smiling as one of Diddy's lawyers read a long email she sent to him shortly after their relationship began. She suggested that the lawyer read that one aloud, saying, "It's making me giggle because it's from 2007. So that's the full quote. Quote, "It's making me giggle because it's from 2007. The message expressed both affection and fear. Okay. That Diddy wasn't fully reciprocating her love for him. Quote, "I've never felt so loved, safe, and empowered since we've come together," she wrote, before saying, quote, "On the other hand, you're constantly wary of me." It was usually like a one-way street when it came to messages like this, Cassie testified. There was a very brief but charged back and forth between Cassie and the lawyer about the effect of the lawsuit she filed in 2023, because I think Diddy thinks this lawsuit that Cassie filed was the final straw that actually got this like, without the Cassie lawsuit, I don't think there's a federal prosecution yet. Like, somebody needed to file a lawsuit. And apparently there was a charged, which means like a heated back and forth exchange between Cassie and the lawyer about the effect of the lawsuit that she filed and then quickly settled for $20 million. Quote, "When your lawsuit was publicized in November 2023, you understood that his career was ruined at that point, right?" Cassie said, "I could understand that, yeah." Let's go to Inner City Press. Okay. So 43 seconds ago, we get a new tweet from Inner City Press, and it's the lawyer. And the lawyer says, "Fair to say his career was ruined after your lawsuit." So we did just read this at the New York Times or CNN, whoever it was. Cassie said, "I could understand that. Yeah. He didn't want the truth to get out for quite a while. So I guess, yeah, I mean, his career is ruined just like he thought it would be. So yeah. So ugh, this is nasty. This is nasty. Let's read these messages. Diddy wrote, "When are you on your time of the month?" Cassie says, "No, now." Then, ew. The lawyer said, quote, she's reading for Diddy, I guess, quote, "What you be thinking about when you aroused, excited," that type of thing. CNBC has 9 new updates. That was the most recent tweet from Inner City Press, so let's get some more context. Okay, 21 minutes ago, NBC, Adam Rice and Rice and Matt Lavietes. I don't know how to say that. Combs' attorney questions Cassie on rugs and sex videos. The defense asked Cassie if she deleted the videos she had of Diddy on her devices, which she confirmed that she did delete. Then they showed an email exchange between Diddy and Cassie, August 2009, confirming what appears to suggest the existence of the videos and the pair's drug use. Do you have any pills on you? Combs replied, I'm going to do it again. Cassie said, I just deleted the video off my camera. It was so dope. 11 minutes ago, Cassie said freak-offs were the next step in their relationship and tells the court that they were integral. She told Combs in a 2009 email that having freak-offs was the next step in their relationship. But she also mentioned that she went back and forth about the idea and needed to trust him more to be sexually free. In order to be more open with the things we do in bed, I need to feel safe, like home, like this is my husband. This is the only man I will ever have this, only man that will ever have this aggressive sexual side of me. When we used to freak off, we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right. Like it literally made sense for the next step in our S life together. But when asked by the defense if freak-offs were an important part of her relationship with Diddy, she responded it was an integral part. 3 minutes ago, the defense asks Cassie to confirm her independent success before dating Diddy. The defense is asking Cassie about her initial success in the music and modeling industry and what appears to be an effort to paint her as being independently rich and famous and not under Diddy's control. Okay, so they're trying to paint her as being independently rich and famous and not under Diddy's control. Cassie was asked to confirm that she was becoming a wealthy celebrity with a thriving music and modeling career on her own before she ever started dating Diddy, her then boss. She then acknowledged that she was doing well during that time. You were an up-and-coming star? She said, I guess you could say that. We have another update from CNN. Cassie was more open than Combs about expressing her feelings in messages, she says. The jury next saw an email Cassie sent to Diddy in October 2007. She testified that the email demonstrates open communication between her and Diddy, but she said it was usually a one-way street. She said she would send messages being open about her feelings more often than he would. In one email, this is the one from October 2007, Cassie said, quote, we've only really had 1 week of each other just together, and I can say that it's been the best and worst. She wrote about the things she liked about Diddy and dreaming of a beautiful future together. Who knew I would fall so fast, she wrote. She also wrote about some negative feelings she had about their relationship, and she indicated that she felt that her friend may be better suited for Diddy. It's hard for me to handle that. On the other hand, you're constantly weary of me. I'm sneaky. I never seem to make the right decisions to you. I'm a spoiled brat. I'm dramatic, disrespectful, and for some reason you just don't trust me, she wrote. I'm going back to Inner City Press. Okay, 4 minutes ago, Miss Ventura, if you don't want to read the answers, I can read them for you. Cassie's like, yeah, could you? Thanks. The O has lots of O's after them, right? Cassie said yes. After a freak off, you would make love with Mr. Combs? Cassie said yes. Your time of the month. Diddy asking when you're on it, right? Cassie goes, yep. He's asking in the context of when to meet up and have relations. Cassie goes, looks like it. Lawyer says, sometimes you watched him with a female? She said like 2 or 3 times in 11 years, maybe. Not, and like, remember, she testified that she had did hundreds of FOs with the male escorts. Okay, that's the most recent there. New York Times has another update. 2 minutes ago, Julia Jacobs of the New York Times says that the cross-examination is swinging between the freak-offs at the center of the case and other topics. Cassie is currently reading more sexually explicit messages between her and Diddy from this time from 2012. The defense seems to be highlighting how, in this conversation, Diddy asked about Cassie's desires and preferences. Interesting. Let's go to the Washington Post. I'm just trying to make sure we're not reading the same thing. Ventura says she was dissatisfied that she and Combs were not a couple publicly. Lawyers for Diddy have argued that she was a willing participant in their sexual exploits, but was deeply jealous over his unfaithfulness and unavailability. This is Anne Brannigan from the from the Washington Post. She says, as this morning's cross-examination has concentrated on her relationship with Diddy before 2010, Cassie has been asked some probing questions about her sexual feelings toward him, as well as the timeline of her relationship with a previous boyfriend, Ryan Leslie. As in previous days, Cassie has answered some questions with a little smirk or smile. She even giggled when an old journal-like email she wrote was brought up. She has seemed fairly composed, occasionally tilting her head when she is confused by the phrasing of the defense attorney's questions. When Cassie was beginning to date Diddy as a young R&B artist in the 2000s, she was also in a relationship with another music producer named Ryan Leslie, who, like Diddy, was significantly older than her. In a 2007 email being shown to the court now, she described herself as sneaky for cheating on Leslie with Diddy. The defense may be trying to show that Cassie wasn't as sexually inexperienced. Maybe trying to show Cassie was not sexually inexperienced when she started dating Diddy, contrary to some of her previous testimony, as well as prosecutors' suggestion that Diddy groomed her sexually from the time she was only 19. 4 minutes ago, Shayna Jacobs of the Washington Post. Cassie's relationship with Ryan Leslie was somewhat serious, she conceded. She even had a tattoo of his initials. She also testified when she took a romantic trip to Miami with Diddy that she led Leslie to believe she was going there for an event, a fake promotion flyer, she said. It was even created for the ruse, although Cassie said she didn't make it. She didn't make the fake promotion flyer, she said. Diddy is 17 years older than Cassie, and Leslie is about 10 years older than her. Defense lawyers may be trying to show that even in her late teens, Cassie was relatively mature and possibly seeking out influential older men as she started her singing career. Oh, that might be true. She might have been seeking out influential older men. That could be true. That means she deserves to be somebody's slave? No, I don't think so. Sorry, no. NBC's got another update here. Let's see what they're saying. Cassie met Combs while she was dating Ryan Leslie. She testified she was dating rapper and producer Ryan Leslie when she met Diddy. When she signed with Bad Boy in 2006, she was platonic with Diddy. She was dating Leslie, she said. She was about 3 years into that relationship when she went to Miami to see Diddy, leading to the first time she and Diddy had relations, and she admitted this under cross-examination. She confirmed that a flyer was made to advertise a club appearance she was making to give the impression of a professional reason to travel to Miami, so as not to make Leslie, her boyfriend at the time, suspicious. Okay, let's go back to Inner City Press. Oh, they're talking about swingers. We got 2 new tweets over here. Okay. The lawyer asks Cassie, did you talk with Diddy about the swingers lifestyle? Cassie said that no one talks about it. Were you keeping freak-offs secret from your friends? She said yes. His assistants help him? Cassie said with everything. Would you remember if an assistant came in during one of your sessions? She said not necessarily. I was a little out of it. She said, so you don't remember much? Cassie said, I had my privacy invaded a lot during that relationship. So she's saying, look, an assistant could have came in, a bodyguard could have came in, a security could have, anybody could have came in. I don't really remember. I was on drugs and also don't remember a lot of it. It was a blur, but yeah, maybe could have been. I don't know. We have a new update from New York Times. Julia Jacobs says the defense has characterized Diddy's sexual preferences as part of a swingers lifestyle. In contrast to the government's allegations of ST and coercion, Diddy's lawyer has asked Cassie about the swingers lifestyle. And Cassie testified that multiple times she watched Diddy have relations with another woman, a reversal of the typical voyeuristic arrangement that played out during their relationship. She said it happened 2 or 3 times, though, not hundreds. We have an update from CNN. Okay, yeah, this gives you a little bit of the strategy I was kind of talking about earlier. The title of this article from CNN on CNN.com, this is from Ali Rosenblum. The title is Why the Prosecution Asked Cassie About Her Civil Lawsuit Against Diddy Before the Defense Could Today. Cassie testified yesterday during her direct examination that she and Diddy agreed to settle the civil lawsuit she filed against him in 2023 for $20 million. The defense just raised the subject again today, with attorney Ana Estevallo asking Cassie if she thought it would be fair to say Diddy's career was ruined after the lawsuit became public. She said, yeah, I can understand that, yeah. CNN legal analyst told CNN that the prosecution would have seen this line of questioning coming, and there was a strategy behind bringing it up during direct examination before Diddy's lawyers could bring it up. Drawing the sting. I've heard it called stealing thunder, but I guess they do drawing the sting. Prosecutors always do what we call drawing the sting. So if you know there's a good point for cross-examination, you always bring it out on direct examination first, so the jury isn't surprised. They don't think, oh, the prosecutors hid something from us. So you're kind of signaling to the jury, we know about this, but we still believe our witness. Rogers said, the analyst said that Cassie told this story in her lawsuit. She got $20 million as a result for that story. That's essentially the same story she's telling now. So what was her incentive in bringing it in the first place? That's the bias point. It's a really good point for them, Rogers said, adding that she expects the defense to hit that one hard. Cassie alleged in her lawsuit that Diddy R her in 2018 and subjected her to years of repeated physical and other abuses over the course of their relationship, which Combs denied. The civil suit is separate from this ongoing federal criminal trial. Heading on over back to Inner City Press. Anything new here? Let's see. Hold on. Okay, that's the most recent tweet from Inner City Press. Are they hiding them now? Where are they? People are stealing Inner City Press's tweets and his hard work and not giving him credit. My advice is to go and support him any and every way you can. He's really He's really carrying the torch here, live tweeting from Ensign. People are stealing his tweets. I have him permanently linked in the description box, so y'all can find him there below. Subscribe to him. But where's his most recent tweet? Here. 4 seconds ago, we get a new tweet. This is from July 2012. You say to Diddy, I'm aroused and bored. This was after a FO, right? Cassie goes, there's a lot of texts here. Intercity Press said, supposedly it's like 25 pages worth of texts. Where will defense exhibits ostensibly entered into evidence be available? Where or when? I mean, seriously, where? Why is all this? They're having a secret trial? 2 Diddy trials. One for the public and one, let's see, one for the public and one for the super special secret parties only. Where is the transparency? Why have a court at all then? And I'm not talking about FO tapes. I'm talking about like all the 25 pages worth of stuff that the public can't even see. Let's go to Washington Post. So far, though, I mean, they're about to take lunch soon. And what have they even done? What has been established here? Nothing. It's like a flop, a nothing burger, as they say. Let's go to ABC. We haven't seen them today. Oh, they're not really. Okay, 3 new updates. Okay, ABC is another one of our sources we'll be checking in with today. This is the first time reading from them today. 12 minutes ago, they said defense suggests Cassie wanted more from Diddy relationship than just participating in his fantasies. After testifying for 2 days that Diddy forced her into sexual encounters with male prostitutes under threat of violence and reputational harm, Cassie was confronted on cross-examination by messages that appeared to show her reluctance was only because she wanted more from the relationship. When we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there were no questions. It felt asked. It felt right. We already heard that. I get nervous that I'm just becoming the girlfriend that you get your fantasies off with, and that's it. I don't get the other part. At the time, you were afraid that you were being treated as someone who could just get his fantasies off with, the lawyer asked. Cassie said, that was a concern. The lawyer asked Ventura whether freak-offs were a defining feature of their relationship. It became a very integral part of our relationship early on, she responded. And you wanted your relationship to develop more. Cassie said, right. I wanted a real relationship. The defense showed the court additional explicit messages meant to support the contention that Cassie was an eager sexual partner who shared Diddy's desires. In one August 2009 text exchange, Cassie sent an explicit detail, excitement about a then forthcoming freak off. Diddy replied, I can't wait. That's what I want to see. And she said, I can't wait either. 2 updates from CNN. Ventura says she didn't want Diddy's staff to know about the freak-offs. Cassie testified she didn't remember any of Diddy's employees walking in while they were having a freak-off. And she said she never talked to any of his staff about them. She said she definitely didn't want his employees to know about them. The assistants would often set up hotel rooms before a freak-off, and they would at times come into the hotel room while they were staying there. But she added that she doesn't have a specific recollection of a staff member in the room when she was actively in a freak-off with Diddy and an escort. She acknowledged that she never told her friends about the freak-offs. 3 minutes ago, Cassie says she and Diddy. Okay. Cassie said she and Diddy had conversations about the swingers lifestyle. Cassie confirmed that she and her then boyfriend Diddy had conversations about the swinger lifestyle, and eventually she saw it in person at the sex clubs they went to. The attorney asked if the freak-offs were related to the swingers lifestyle, and Cassie said, I guess, related in a sexual way, but no, they're very different. Okay, good to know. So going to a sex club and having the freak off is not the same thing, Cassie said. Okay, the U.S. attorney said, I would ask that the witness be allowed to read the entire document. Like there's like 8 pages of documents, and Cassie's like, what do you want me to do here? Okay. I would ask that the witness be allowed to read the entire document. The judge says, how many pages is it? Diddy's lawyer says 8 pages. The assistant U.S. attorney said, we don't have a copy for her to read. Estevallo said, okay, fine, we'll show it on the screen. So they showed it on Cassie's screen, but not in the public gallery. Some of these. Welcome to members. Shout out to you. Thank you to Ari for the 1,600 yen. Hi, just in case I'm not awake for your live. I live in Japan. What is konnichiwa? Is that Japanese? I live in Japan. Thank you so much for your hard work. Listen to your live while I work. You explain everything so perfectly. Thank you for the 1,600 yen. Shout out to Japan in the chat. Shout out to Astrid, a new member. Boy Mom, good morning, BJ. The song, not fire, but an inferno. Thank you for the 199 super chat. Boy Mom X3. Thank you, Witty Lady. Shout out to you for becoming a member. Shout out to LF for the super sticker. Oh, they put Estevallo's pick on the New York. Okay, let me go. Where's the key players? Right? They have key players somewhere. There they are. Oh, there she is. This is Anna Estevallo. Let me take a screenshot. Oh. Okay. One new update from them. While we're here, we might as well read it. All right. Before the defense could enter into evidence a set of communications between Cassie and Diddy, Cassie reviewed them thoroughly on paper first from the witness stand. They were emails, text messages, and photos from their relationship. We have an update from NBC. 7 minutes ago, lawyers contend Cassie's lawsuit ruined Diddy's career. Cassie testified that she understood how filing her 2023 lawsuit accusing Diddy of R and SA could ruin his career. Asked by defense lawyers what happened to Diddy's career after she filed, Cassie responded, "That's a lot." What? So I guess the first question was, what happened to Diddy's career after you filed your lawsuit? And Cassie just went, that's a lot. Like, what do you mean? Can you be more specific? Shout out to Mama Llama AZ for the $2 super chat. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Pick is on Harris, Chismo's website. Thank you. Thank you for that, letting me know that. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Molly, for the $2 super chat. New York Times update key player. Thank you for that tip. Holly W. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I'm doing good. Thank you. Oh my Lord. 100,000. What? Is it 100,000? What is IDR? That surely isn't Indian rupees. Thank you so much. Indonesia rupees or Indonesia R, whatever those are. Thank you. Strange currencies. Thank you. Thank you on the clock radio for the 99 cents. Thank you, Fiona, for the $4.99. Thanks for all your hard work. To me, these messages are a nothing burger. It's part of the manipulation. Both Cassie and her expert can rebut this totally. I'm not feeling like this is strong so far. Maybe they're saving the big kahuna for the end or whatever. And thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Zach, for the $13.99 Canadian. Been watching you for over 2 years now. Your content is thorough and entertaining. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Paige's mama, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, BJ. Home with my toddler, and she's got Miss Rachel, and I have BJ. We are Miss BJ. Yes, thank you. We appreciate all you do. Thank you to you and fam, Paige's mama. All right, let's see. Let's see if Inner City Press has tweeted anything else. I know. Something happened weird with the tweets, the thread. But he commented back to it. Here's today's thread so far. Okay. I'm trying to get to the most recent tweet from Inner City Press. Some stuff's kind of glitchy on Twitty. Okay. So I guess the most recent tweet was 9 minutes ago. Okay. So let's see what the BBC is saying. Oh. They're covering it too. They spelled defense wrong over there. It's supposed to be with an S, but I don't know why they call it how you're supposed to spell it. I'm sorry if you from over there, y'all got to start with the S. Why are you doing it with the C? I'm just kidding. I mean, it is spelled wrong, but I'm just kidding. Defense presses CASSIE on prior relationships. This is Madeline Halpert from the BBC on BBC.com. For the past half hour, defense attorney Ana Estevallo has been taking CASSIE back through the early stages of the relationship with Combs. She's been trying to undercut the narrative from CASSIE's testimony yesterday that she was naive and young when she started dating Diddy at age 21. Him, 17 years, her senior. Diddy's lawyer notes that at the time, CASSIE was a successful musician with her own Manhattan apartment. She noted that CASSIE was already dating a music producer at the time. It wasn't the first time you'd been dating an older man, right? Estevallo asks her. The lawyer also notes CASSIE had a tattoo of Leslie's initials. The defense is now starting to get into the so-called freak-offs. This is from about 30 minutes ago. More directly, where CASSIE says Diddy directed her and male escorts to perform S acts. They also updated 8 minutes ago a new court sketch. We have a new court sketch to share with you from court. This artist is Jane Rosenberg. As a reminder, photography and videography is not allowed in the U.S. federal court in New York, but we can get a glimpse inside via court sketches. It shows Diddy taking notes as his lawyers stand to ask questions. Cassie Ventura is not in the sketch. Oh, there she is right there crying. In the sketch. All right, let's go to Inner City Press. She may be still reading. You should read 8 pages. Okay. 3 seconds ago, we got a new tweet. Combs, Estevallo. So Diddy's lawyer says, you said Diddy often put you down, but he also sent you encouragement and called you a queen, didn't he? Cassie said, yes. Then they go and do a sidebar, whispering to the judge. What would trigger Diddy's incessant calls to you? Cassie said anger or doubt about where I was. So now they're asking about the incessant calls. They're going to make her look like a cheater, fast and loose. They're going to try. Okay, that's the most recent there. We got an update from NBC. One new update. Oh, okay. 1 minute ago, we have something new. We have new context here. The defense asked Cassie to confirm that Diddy both built up and knocked down her confidence, citing text messages between the pair. Cassie agreed, acknowledging that Diddy did also sometimes call her a queen. Words were helpful, she said. He's got that inspiring energy inside him. It sounds like he's got a little bit more than only inspiring energy inside him. I mean, it sounds like it could be Satan himself has set up camp. 29 seconds ago. The lawyer says, if he suspected you of cheating, he'd call you incessantly. Cassie said, that was one of the reasons, yes. Because he thought, objection, no, objection, Your Honor. Cassie can't talk about what he thought. That's sustained. So finally, the judge sides with the prosecution on one of their objections today. Okay, that was the most recent tweet there. Let's check out CNN. No, nothing new there. Let's check out New York Times. Washington Post. We're just checking for updates here. Okay. All right. We got some more details from the details queens at the Washington Post. This is Shayna Jacobs. The defense confronted Cassie with a message she sent to Diddy about particularly enjoying the portion of a freak off where she had relations with the male escort. Quote, I liked those times. I love when we make love after. The last time was good. Messages like these could support the defense's argument that Cassie consented to all of this, including the freak-offs and the group sex sessions that prosecutors contend she was coerced into. The defense might also suggest to the jury that Cassie changed her attitude about the freak-offs when she saw an opportunity for a payday. Yesterday, Cassie testified that Diddy paid her $20 million to drop a SA lawsuit that she filed in 2023, years after they broke up. The defense concedes that Diddy physically abused Cassie on multiple occasions, but they argue that he has not been charged with physical abuse or domestic violence, but rather it was a violent relationship, and a violent relationship is not evidence for the government's ST charges. Let's see, we have ABC. Do a refresh. I guess they're not. We're up to date on ABC's coverage. Let's try the BBC. Nothing. All right. Oh, look at that. That's the sponsor of today's video. ThatSurpriseWitness.com. It's me. I didn't pay myself anything for the sponsorship, but you can get your They Lied. You can get your They Lied hoodie. You can get your They Lied tank top. We do have some sizes already sold out on this. Okay, small sold out, 2XL is sold out. I swear I got an email a few days ago. Somebody saying, please bring back the original They Lied merch, and y'all are gonna be seeing the same thing. Look, out, the gone. Never will there be another small ever again. 2XL is sold out. ThatSurpriseWitness.com. You get a little tote. If you're otherwise inclined to support, you can donate to the legal fund, linked down below. Let's go back to Inner City Press. Nope. All right. New York Times has an update. The defense asked Cassie about her testimony that Diddy would sometimes call her incessantly. The defense lawyer asked if those calls were triggered by fears of infidelity, a main theme of the defense. Cassie said, yeah, that was one of the reasons. One of the reasons was infidelity, yeah. So far, I don't feel like they really got her in any gotchas. And I do think that is a testament to the setup of the direct examination. Thank you, Storia, for the $2. Yes, shout out to the house cleaning. Storia Time said, shout out to the housekeepers who cleaned after the FOs. Yeah, shout out to them, the unspoken heroes of this story. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I just finished day 3. You do such a great job. I love your thorough research. Thanks for keeping me company while I study for my board. Which board, Marcy? Thank you for the $9.99 super chat as well. Thank you, Lana. Hey, Lana, for the €2 super chat. Oh, okay. So according to Tisa Tells, who's there at the trial, the twins looked bored and desensitized and judgy. So who were they judging? Probably Cassie. And look, listen, they already don't got a mama. I don't mean to make light of it at all. It's probably better to have a dad that's outside of jail that's a monster than no mom who's no longer alive and a dad that's in prison. I mean, so I can't even like blame these girls truly for like wanting to take it out on someone else, because probably their whole entire life they also have been groomed by both of their parents into thinking that like Diddy cannot do anything wrong. Like he's never done anything wrong and he just can't do anything wrong. So everything has to be someone else's fault. And indeed and in fact, if Cassie never filed that lawsuit, I don't think this would have been filed. I don't think that the government would have had any witnesses to go over this stuff with. Thank you, EEJ, for the $5 super chat. Happy Thursday from sunny Florida. Wait. BJ, thanks again for your commitment to giving us the best coverage. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the $5 super chat. Justice for Queen Brittany Jean. Yes, Daniel. Yes. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Justice for her. Okay, let's see. Anything new here? This is so stupid. Of all the things she could ask, the lawyer then asks Cassie, "Do you believe Mr. Combs has good taste?" What? Cassie said, "I think he does." "Has he had an impact on fashion?" Cassie said, "People like his style." Sean John. "Did you consult with him on your look?" Cassie said, "Sometimes I got advice I didn't ask for." All right, now we're getting into some new territory. We got a new update from CNN. Combs would call incessantly if Cassie didn't pick up her phone, she testified. She said there were a, quote, million things that could beep. Cassie said there were, quote, a million things that could trigger him calling incessantly. She gave an example of not telling him where she was. The defense attorney, Diddy's attorney, then asked why Cassie thought Diddy was concerned about this. She said, "I think because he would assume I was cheating," she testified. But she added that he would call her for other reasons too. Okay, new reporting coming in from New York Times. Julia Jacobs says, Cassie was asked about her testimony that Diddy frequently weighed in on her appearance, including her hair, her clothing, and her body piercings. In the direct testimony, Cassie framed it as one of the many ways that Diddy exerted control over her life. But in its questioning, the defense seems to be suggesting that it is... Oh my God, this is crazy. So we're getting more information about what the defense theory is. Like, what is the defense? So, okay, one of the reasons why Cassie says she was being controlled all the time is specifically because, for example, he would always tell her what to wear, what not to wear, dress her like a doll. And then Diddy's lawyer's going, "Oh, well, couldn't it be the case? Couldn't it be? Maybe he was just giving you fashion advice because he's a fashion mogul and a fashion executive?" She said, the lawyer said, quote, "Many people respected his perspective in this regard, didn't they?" Cassie said, "From my perspective, yes, many people respected Diddy's fashion perspective, I guess." I'm just refreshing Inner City Press. Okay, we got another new tweet. The lawyer said he still ran his companies even while having all these freak offs, right? Cassie said he did. What was he addicted to? Cassie laughed. She said success. What substances? Cassie said, oh, opiates? Cassie said, yes, he told me and I saw it. So now the lawyers are going to say, well, Diddy was doing these drugs and these freak offs too. So he ran a whole empire. He ran a whole business. How did Diddy keep you down? Which again, y'all, I'm starting to feel stronger and stronger about Cassie's case because it does appear like this is a nothing burger defense. I mean, nothing's new. Nothing's shocking. Again, this is only the first morning. She's expected to be on the stand dealing with these questions at least till tomorrow. So maybe something else going to happen later. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't have let Mark Garagos go out on TMZ and basically say what the defense was going to do. Because it just, oh, okay, yeah, we already heard that. Oh, yeah, we already heard that. Oh, yeah, we already knew that. Okay. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. We have an update from CNN. Let's see what they're talking about over there. Cassie detailed the influence Diddy had on her physical appearance. While she was being questioned by prosecutors, Cassie testified that Diddy had strong opinions about her physical appearance and controlled what she wore. She said during cross-examination, she would send him, okay, here's a new detail. She would send him photos of her clothing. This is a new detail. Do you believe Diddy had good taste? The lawyer asked, yeah, I think he does. Then the lawyer asked if she thought that Combs had an impact on fashion and culture. And Cassie agreed, yeah, he did. He had an impact on fashion and culture. Yes, you're only proving how much power he had. They're basically just making Cassie's case for her. Okay. We got another few updates from Washington Post, more details. A lot of long pauses during testimony Thursday morning as the defense asked Cassie to review texts and email exchanges going back at least 15 years, some of them dozens of pages long. We have Anne Brannigan at the Washington Post saying Cassie's demeanor during cross-examination has been markedly different from previous witnesses. It's hard to remember at this point after multiple days of Cassie's grueling testimony, but two witnesses testified before her on Monday. The first was Israel Flores, a Los Angeles police officer who worked security at the Intercontinental Hotel in 2016 and took a copy of security footage showing Diddy's attack on Cassie in the hallway. The second witness was Daniel Phillip, who participated in freak-offs with Cassie and Diddy for about a year, starting in 2012. Both men were firm, almost combative under cross-examination, forcefully contradicting the defense's assertions and contradicting them, and correcting them. Cassie has appeared to defer more to Ana Estevallo. While she has struggled to recall some of the exchanges and corrected some of Estevallo's assertions, she has not appeared bothered or frustrated by the questioning. She has replied in the same quiet tone she used for most of her testimony over the past 3 days. And you know what? He trained her. She was trained by the best of them, according to her testimony. She was trained to keep it together and don't have fix your face. Don't have such a smart mouth. Don't have such a smart tone. So, I mean, 11 years of brutal training. Maybe that's why she don't appear bothered by this stupid lady. She knows that this lady ain't about to come across the bench on her. Cassie was asked, this is from the New York Times, Julia Jacobs. Cassie was asked about her testimony that Sean frequently weighed in on her appearance. Oh, wait, no, I already got that one. Okay, next one, 2 minutes ago. Same author, Julia Jacobs. The defense asked Cassie about Diddy's drug use, which she testified was a central element of the freak-offs. Integral, remember? Cassie agreed that Diddy was at one point an addict. testifying he often took opiates as she did. She said that multiple times she witnessed him go through opiate withdrawal, which caused him to be more irritable. The defense has attributed Diddy's physical violence to two main things. So Diddy's defense is his physical violence isn't trafficking. It's two other things. It was because he was on drugs and because he was jealous. That's the defense. He was on drugs and jealous, and Cassie was a willing participant with all these hundreds of men. Okay. NBC has an update. Let's see what details we can get from them. Okay, the title is Diddy called Cassie incessantly if he thought she was cheating on him. Combs needed to be constantly updated about Cassie's whereabouts, perhaps concerned she was stepping out on their relationship, Cassie said. When asked what would trigger a spike in telephone calls from Diddy, Cassie said it could be for any number of reasons, anything from not telling him where she was, angry about something she did. It could be anything. Maybe he assumed I was cheating, she said. I don't know. When asked if she believed the volume of calls spiked when Diddy theorized she was cheating, she said yes. Okay, so she was asked, okay, do you think he called even more incessantly, even more so when he thought you were cheating? And she said, yeah, I do. We have another update from New York Times. Wow, they're really on it today. Okay, this is Ben Cesario from the New York Times. He says in the cross-examination of Cassie, a lawyer for Diddy has continued to question her about her relationship with Diddy. Drawing on many text messages and other communications between them, Cassie expressed affection and devotion to him, but also complained that she felt she had become simply an sexual object to him and not a full romantic partner. The defense also questioned Cassie about the swingers lifestyle that Diddy wanted, including not just sex involving Cassie and another man, but other occasions when he requested that she watch him having relations with another woman. Cassie was asked whether any personal assistants entered the room during freak-offs. She said she couldn't remember, citing the drugs she took throughout. She also questioned, I bet you this is the personal assistant that's going to come up to this. Is this Capricorn? If y'all are in the chat, is this Capricorn? I forgot her last name. She was also questioned about Diddy's drug use. She said that while taking them, he wasn't doing well. Quote, that's what happens when you take drugs. Let's go back to Inner City Press and see if anything new has happened. Oh, there. Okay, we do have another question here from the lawyer. Did Diddy's mood depend on whether or not he was withdrawing from opiates? Cassie said he would be more irritable, I would say. What other drugs was Mr. Combs addicted to? Objection, objection. No foundation. The judge says, I'll ask if I want the grounds. So maybe he's saying, like, stop objecting. "13 seconds ago, the judge says, sustained. Okay, rephrase your question, Anna Estevallo. So just to remind you, the question was, what other substances was Diddy addicted to? And the prosecutors were like, objection. What are you talking about? Objection? What's the foundation of this? Did you ever establish that Diddy was addicted to anything else? No. Judge said true. Rephrase the question. What was his rug of choice? The lawyer asks. Cassie said EX or MDMA. I have to move this. It's aggravating me. She said his drug of choice was EX or MD to the M to the A. And the lawyer said, what about opiates daily? Cassie said, when he was doing them. You saw him withdraw? Cassie said, yeah. That was a few seconds ago, so I doubt there'll be a new tweet. Let's see. Diddy, do it. Okay, so that's the most recent tweet 1 minute ago. What was Diddy's drug of choice? Cassie said EX or MDMA. Opiates daily? Cassie said when he was doing them. Yeah, daily when he was doing them. You saw him withdraw? She said, yes, I did. All right, let's go. Let's see. NBC. Let's go to the BBC. See if they got anything over here. Okay. Interesting. Defense. This is from a Sakshi Venkatraman. Venkatraman? I don't know how to say that. Sakshi from BBC. She said the prosecution spent the last 2 days trying to establish a narrative that the so-called freak-offs were humiliating, scary experiences for Cassie. The defense is now trying to paint them in a different light. Defense lawyer Anna Estevallo is introducing sexually explicit text chains where Cassie said she was excited before an FO, the term they use to describe these marathons. In one text, Cassie said she had an aggressive sexual side. The defense is also trying to disprove Cassie's claims that she was embarrassed and wanted to hide these acts to stop any harm to her career. Continuing with more freak-off related questions, the defense is also trying to chip away at the racketeering charge against Diddy, which asserts that he had a team who aided in putting together the sexual acts. The defense lawyer asked Cassie if she ever saw an assistant walk in while she was in the middle of a so-called FO. She said, I was high. She answers adding that she wasn't sure, but she doesn't recall any staff directly seeing what was happening inside the hotel rooms. Okay, did you see Diddy have a withdrawal? And Cassie said, yes. Judge said, all right, we're going to break. The jurors get up and leave, and then they let Cassie leave. The judge, yeah, I do too. Love the way she answers. The judge says, oh, yep, I knew it. I knew it. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news, everybody. Cassie's testimony is going to be a whole entire another day long. A whole nother day. Like all of tomorrow. Remember when they were supposed to be done? They were supposed to be done with their cross-examination by today. And then they were going to do the direct examination. They were going to do the redirect and then the recross and the redirect and the recross and all that. We're getting an updated schedule, an updated timeline, if I do say so myself. The judge says, let's go on a break, and then everybody leaves. The jurors, and not everybody, the jurors and Cassie leave. And the judge says, Miss Estevai, where are we on the cross-examination? She says, we have a lot of exhibits, Your Honor. I got to confer over lunch with, my bosses and stuff. The judge said, that's not an answer. That's non-responsive. Are you going to finish today? You going to finish tomorrow? Agnifilo pipes in. No one's talking to him. He says, to the end of tomorrow. So they did break for lunch, but stuff is still being talked about in here. So I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Woo, we're in for a ride, y'all. 56 seconds ago. Oh my God. This is crazy. Cassie is going to go into labor on the freaking stand. Agnifilo, yeah, this is what they're going to get, a mistrial. I know they're gearing up for a mistrial. I know they are. This is so sneaky in my opinion and strategic in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. But what it appears like to me, based on this tweet from like a minute ago, Agnifilo says, we might not even be done tomorrow. This is the most important witness. The judge looks at Agnifilo and goes, Agnifilo, for months, we've been saying this witness has to be off the stand by the end of this week. She's 8 months pregnant. Hello? Our direct was a day and a half, the prosecutor said. Limit them to that. So what's going to happen? I just had a That's So Raven vision. Okay. Diddy is going to, if he gets convicted of anything, he's going to appeal, or he's going to try to get a mistrial, because he's going to say it was not fair. It was not due process because he didn't get to have Cassie on the stand as long as he wanted. She was the most important witness. She was a star witness, and he only got to have her on the stand getting tortured and interrogated for 2 days or whatever, instead of, what he wanted to keep her up there for 4 weeks or something. The judge said for months we've been saying Cassie has to be off the stand by the end of the week. Okay. But all of a sudden today, now you were supposed to be done today with your cross-examination. The cross-examination isn't even going to be done this week, Agnifilo is now saying. So we still got to do redirect, recross, redirect, recross. There's just no freaking way. The judge is mad. He is aggravated, I feel. The judge said, show Cassie the exhibits in advance, because why are we sitting here wasting time with her on the stand? This is stupid. Maybe just ask her a question rather than these exhibits. We have a timing concern. Agnifilo said they called 2 witnesses to start. That wasn't our choice. It's a critically important witness. The judge said, streamline it. They are going to try to get a mistrial for this. The judge said, we'll break. But the prosecutors will argue back. It's their own fault it took this long, because they're the ones stalling off on providing the evidence over to the other side and everything like that. Who y'all think? We'll break. Okay, so they're going on their lunch break, which means I'm going to probably just go on mine too. But let me get to some of these. Thanks so much, Rikers Mimi, for the $5 super chat. Girl, your excitement at seeing Brittany's name was everything. I love when God's favorite is proven correct. Thank you for all you do and your hard work. Love you, BJ. Appreciate your journalism. Thank you for the $5, Rikers mom. Oh, Mimi, Rikers Mimi. Thank you, A Young, for the $4.99 super chat. Love you, BJ. Appreciate your journalism. Love you, mean it. I mean, it's not really journalism, girl. I'm just reading and giving opinions, but thank you. Thank you, Michelle, for the $5 super chat. Could I just read the updates myself? Yes. Am I carrying my laptop with me every time I have to get up from my desk so I can follow BJ? Also, yes. Exactly. All I'm doing is reading these updates. It's public. Thank you for the $5, Canadian Michelle. Thank you, Stacy, for the $10 super chat. Maybe Diddy has weird sexual fantasies because maybe when he was younger, his mother did some weird things in front of him. Sometimes real unalivers have some childhood. Just my thoughts. I see where you're. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Thanks so much for the $10 super chats. Thank you, Ash Lawley. Becoming a member. Shout out to you. Shout out to Cynthia. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you for the check my front door. Is it another process server stalking me down? Thank you for the $20 super chat. Amber TSW. Thank you, Laurie, for the $19.99 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Christopher Jones, for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you. I discovered your page in January, and you have been helping me get through a hard time. Aw, thank you, Christopher. And thank you again for the $9.99 super chat. I know. I'm going to the front door. I'm going. Thank you. Streets of Bakersfield for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Carrie B8. We Americans spell what? I don't know what that means. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, though. Thank you, Tina, for the $5 super chat. Thanks again, BJ, for keeping us all up to date, listening and watching today as I build sugar glider toys. Oh, sugar gliders are cute. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the 20 Norway dollars. I don't know what the name of y'all's dollars are. I got to find it out. Shout out to Norway in the chat. I'm following from Norway. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Wenka or Wenchy. Thank you again for the super chat. Thank you, Tia, for the $9.99 super chat. It was Young Thug's trial where the judge was removed from the case because the state and Woody were having private conversations about Woody testimony. Yeah. Thank you, Tia, for that reminder. Yes, exactly. That's what I was remembering. I'm going to check, y'all. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Shelly. Sheely. and telling me to check my porch. I'm gonna check when I get on my break. Thank you, Carol, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Potato Snack, for the $2 Russian super chat. You are a brave, heroic woman. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you to Dermot for the €5 super chat. Keep up the good work, BJ, from Ireland. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning. You know what I like? Lilting. I was listening to that the other day. Somebody teach me how to lilt. My Irish cousins over there. Everybody's my cousins. Thank you, Raya Ree, for a $10 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Alexander, for the 200 SEK. Is this Norway too? Super sticker. I gotta learn my currencies, y'all. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Emmy, Yanni, moi. Much love from Minneapolis. Shout out to y'all. Is it still cold over there? It's warming up a little bit. I just think it's cold over there all the time. I just wanted to say, oh girl, I didn't get nearly enough money for what that monster had put me through. Well, there you go. There you go. You should have got at least 20 million, you know. Oh, my cousins in the chat. Shout out to Angel Clement Guidry, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much for that. I don't have a pregnant door, girl. There ain't no pregnant door. No. But thank you for the $2 super chat, Sheely. Thank you, Wicked Bree, for the $4.99 super chat. Diddy Defense got me yawning. Seriously, it is a little bit lackluster, if I do say so myself. Do you think Diddy will testify? I keep going back and forth. I don't know. Thank you, BJ, for the coverage. Let's get her to the finish line on the legal fund. Yes. Well, I got 2 of them. But yes, we are almost to the finish line on legal fund. So give me the finish line on legal fund. Thank you so much for the super chat, Wicked Bree. Thank you for the €1.99 super sticker. You'll clap when I'm gone. Thank you. Thank you for the $11.94 super chat, Euro super chat, sending support from Croatia. We are all over the whole. I need to make a map. And put pins in it where y'all all are. I need a globe. Are they trying to send her into labor? Thank you, Marina. Love and support from Croatia. I wonder why they love coming here. Maybe privacy. I don't know. Thank you for the $11.94. Thank you, Edie, for the $4.99 super chat. Are they trying to send her into labor? What would happen with the trial if she does? Well, Diddy's side is going to whine and say they didn't get enough time and she was the most important witness. They've been trying to act like they're going to declare a mistrial or try to get a mistrial since like the first moments. Thank you, Wallflower J, for the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Dawn, for the $19.99. BJ, your work and knowledge are unparalleled. Thank you for all of your time. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Miss G. Ness, for the $5 super chat. Can they not bring Cassie back a few weeks after she has the baby? Well, they could. And maybe that's what the judge would do. But she's the main witness. She's the main victim for the racketeering ficking thing. So the government, the defense, I think would try to argue we have to hear everything Cassie's going to say first before we can even make our case and defend against it, because we have all these other people coming in that they're going to try to impeach Cassie's credibility, etc. But maybe this might be what they do. Miss Gines, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm gonna ask this one to my professor. Let's see. Bring Cassie back after labor. Although that would be pretty hard. I mean, I never had a baby before, so some people who have maybe can let me know, would it be harder? Would it be more difficult to do this testimony 8.5 months pregnant or do this testimony like a few days after a week or something after giving birth? I mean, I don't know. Could still be very difficult. Thank you, Life of Light, for the $9.99 super chat. You go, girl. Definitely in your purpose. I love your channel and thank you for what you do from Las Vegas. Las Vegas. Viva. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Alex, for the $5 super chat. As a fellow queen on the spectrum, a longtime watcher too. Thank you, BJ, for everything you do. Yes. Y'all see me under these hot and bright lights for y'all. If you had any idea how painful it is. That's why I got to take a break in the middle of the day. Thank you, Emmy, for the $2 super chat. Oh, it is warming up. Thank God. Whew, I always imagine it's so cold. I don't know how y'all do it over there. It's pretty cold here too. But I don't feel like it's like that over there. Minneapolis feels so cold. I've never been. I'm going to go there one day. Thank you for the $2 super chat too. Thank you, Allie, The y'all know it's called lilting. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but I probably could learn because that's my cousins. So thank you for the $10 super chat, Allie. Been listening since pre-Britney and still justice for Britney. You know what I mean? Thank you, Christina, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Margarita Sanchez. That is a beautiful name. Thank you for doing this for us. Also, I loved your Brittany and Aaliyah videos. My eyes are open. That's good. Y'all got to work on this one right here. If that one's open, then we probably cousins. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Michaela, for the $5 super chat. How many lawyers does it take, Michaela said, to make a compelling case? Rest in peace, Diddy defense. Thanks for covering this case, BJ. I've decided you're my cousin. Good. I told you I got cousins everywhere. I'm not doing a DNA test, though. Thank you, Michaela, for the $5 super chat. Some girl, thank you for the €2. Greetings from Latvia. Oh, I want to go there one day. Latvia sounds fun. That's my cousins, too. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you for, I got Canadian cousins. You know, I can't say what I specifically am because apparently that's a slur now. But, you know, I am Louisiana French Creole. So the Acadians in Canada, and then the Cajuns in Louisiana, we're like probably literally blood related. You know what I mean? Like in Canada. So I do like poutine too. I got a video of me eating poutine on the side of a in a parking lot. I'm gonna put it on my travel channel just for you, Beverly Bigglesworth. Thank you for the $2.79 Canadian. Thank you, Love Golden, for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Miss Raj, for the $19.99 super chat. And thank you to Angela for the $1.99 super chat. After all, be much harder, postpartum nurse. After would be harder, Angela said. Be much easier, Angela said. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat and for the answer. Love ya. Have my intern manager listening to you. Oh my God, Birmingham Leprechaun. You better tell them we're missing you. But shout out to you. Shout out to you on that internship. And how crazy is this? And thank you for the $2 super chat. And shout out to all the mods in the chat too, including Birmingham Leprechaun. I saw Diamond Rainbow. This girl right here, she ain't took a moment off. Can I speak French? Nope. Nope, I cannot. And the French that my family speaks is not French. It's Cajun French, which French speakers really don't even recognize. They're like, we cannot understand what you're trying to say. It's like we're trying to speak to us, but we don't understand it. After I learn Punjabi, Hindi, Sanskrit, then I might learn French. Pablo Pablo knows something he ain't telling y'all. He said, love me some Cajun women. That's so cute. You thought I was Indian? Oh no, girl, I'm white. I'm just white. That is so funny. You are funny. Somebody's husband said they thought I was a black lady yesterday because they didn't see me on the screen. They just heard me. And then my subscriber said, no, she's just from the South. She ain't black lady. She's just from the South. It's so true. BJ is my family is really from Louisiana. And we might really be cousins. Exactly. See, I'm telling y'all, half y'all probably are my cousins. Un poquito. Habla español. ¿Dónde está? What do I want to ask? Every time I start to speak Spanish, Punjabi comes out. I was about to say GT Road Kitea. Thank you, Junket, for a 99-cent super sticker. And thank you, Brittany, named Twin. I am confused about any staff or guards seeing FO activity. What about when they left to see Suge? Well, there's that, but then there's a personal assistant allegedly that's going to be testifying. I wonder if that personal assistant is going to be testifying that she saw the FOs. No, white bone. I'm just white bone, y'all. I'm just there's no indication. There's no indication. Wait a second. Which real life cousin are you friends with? I'm actually good friends with one of your real cousins in real life. Why did the defense stop? They went on break. They eating lunch. Punjabi, because my whole, half my family is Punjabi because that's my fiance is Punjabi. Sat Sri Akal ji, ki hal chala? Mera nama es Brittany. I don't go by BJ with them. I'm Brittany to them. Yeah. What else can I say in Punjabi? Maaf karna. Tonu pata? GT road kitte hai? That means Pardon me. Excuse me. Do you know where is the main road? It's called GT Road. Anyway, okay. I'm going to go. Oh, wait. Hold on. I got some of this stuff. Already did this. I'm Acadian. I'll be your cousin. There you are, New Brunswick. Oh, yeah. Y'all probably my cousins for real over there. All those Acadians running around. Thank you for the 279 super chat. Thank you. Wait. Oh, no. I thought you were my friend Aaron, girl. Shout out to you. Thank you for the 249 euro. E.I. Mirina. Is it Martina? Girl, I can't read your name. I feel like I'm having a stroke. E.I. Miranez. Miranez? Thank you for the 249 euros. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go take a little baby break. I'm going to check in on what's gone on from the people who were at the courthouse. I'm going to go see if they have any new updates of context to fill in. And I'll be back probably around, 12:51? I'll be back at like 2 o'clock. Thank you to Emmy for the $5 super chat. I'll come to New Jersey. Shout out to you. Got a sister in New Hampshire. Live free or die. That's what they say over there. All right. I'll see you about 2 o'clock in about an hour. This is funny. Tell my husband you're my cousin all the time. And I'm Moroccan. Oh, slay. Yes. Yes. So maybe I do, you know. Born in Amsterdam, live in Canada now. That's so cool. Yeah, we're cousins too across the board. Simply Monica also been holding it down in the chat. Shout out. Okay, my mama put something at my door. I don't know what it is. Only white girl who don't claim native blood. Well, I mean, I'm not native to this planet. I've been trying to tell y'all they dropped me off. My mama's in the chat. She can tell you. They dropped me off from a mothership. So I'm not native to this planet even. So still cousins with all y'all. How does it make you feel? I'll see y'all in like an hour. Facts ain't defamation. Love you. Okay, bye.